Hey, welcome back to another episode of Instant Ramen Podcast. I'm your host, Juan, and as always, my co-host is here with me. Hey, Trip.
Cello.
Haven't seen you in a bit, man.
I know, it's been
1 week since you looked at me.
Aw, man.
Can
now
you
we're
name
going to
that-
get copyright stricken.
Oh, fuck. Oh, we fucked it, man.
All right, well, this is the last episode of Instant fucking Podcast.
We can't afford to pay for the copyright anymore.
Hey, so this week we're gonna talk about a lot of anime. This is
God.
our winter 2019 anime preview, where we tell you about what happens in the first episode of every show that aired this season.
Yeah. This is for sure one of the episodes where we cannot dilly-dally and fuck around and talk about how cool it is to be us and how great our lives are, because we really gotta talk a lot about a lot of anime.
It's true. Hey, how was your week? Good,
It was really
bad?
good.
Really good? That's wonderful.
I actually was sick the other day.
Yeah, no, I heard about that because we were supposed to record last night, but now we're recording tonight.
Yeah, it was weird. I just started feeling like really feverish. I started getting stomach issues. I took a couple ibuprofens. I think it helped with the fever a little bit.
Probably. So I came over, gave you a couple of raspberries. You fucking love that shit, you little bitch.
I did have a few weird fever dreams.
Oh shit! Name one.
The one I remember the best was I was like this really poor high school kid, and I couldn't afford to buy stuff. And then I got the job to tutor these 5 chicks that all looked alike, and turns out they're all sisters. That's not true. That's actually a show we're going to talk about later. Probably the best show of the season. No, a real fever dream I had was someone was trying to destroy my life, and they were doing little things to make my life worse.
Okay,
And-
so just putting shit in weird places.
Yeah,
or
it progressively got worse. It started really tiny, and then became someone was fucking with my car.
Yeah.
And then someone was buying stuff from my bank account to stuff that wasn't real, and then it culminated in someone framing me up for murdering somebody.
Yeah.
And no one was believing me. Sierra wouldn't even believe me.
I mean, I don't believe you.
I mean, it was really shitty. And then I got a phone call from the guy and just ha ha ha, you think this is it? I will ruin you. I will. And I woke up all sweaty. What the fuck? Who did I wrong? I don't know who I wronged. But yeah, it was pretty shitty.
Good shit.
Bad
man.
dream. I didn't like it at all. It wasn't fun. I like dreams, and that was not a fun dream.
Dream.
Besides that, I mean, if we're just gonna quickly talk about what we've done this week, we played Pathfinder.
Hey, welcome back, Pathfinder. It's been months, literally months since we played Pathfinder.
We got some stuff done. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
Helped Silver out, which if you listen to our older episodes,
Silver the Snake.
he's
He's like a dude bro dwarf snake.
he's like a precious metal, and we're trying to save him from the evil lich thing or whatever.
Yeah, so we had to party hard. Well, first we had to fight a snake, then we had to party hard. So our girl Sierra, Geagle, she drank fucking no end, man.
Yeah,
she just drank out of this endless goblet.
These are really cool puzzles because the person who's the temple is a party dude or whatever, and so your puzzle was you had to strike a pose and not break it.
Yeah.
And so the walls were caving in, but you still held your pose, which is pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
And then Sierra's character had to drink out of this this wine that was never ending. The bottom just kept going or whatever. And she puked. She failed her with constitution. But the point of the test was to rally, so she then continued to drink.
Yeah.
I was like, that's really fun. So
So pretty fun time. Pretty good.
Yeah,
We're just, fighting evil in the way that we do.
just getting back into it was
Party
fun.
hardy.
We also got to play I really liked this week. We also played that was it. Don't stop talking and no one explodes.
Yeah, keep talking and nobody explodes.
Yeah. In VR, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
I'm glad you like that game. I have a lot of fun with it too. It's just fucking, it's intense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the best at the puzzles, but I learned to do a few of them. So when I'm not the bomb guy,
So
I
for
can
those of
actually
you that
help
don't
out.
know, one person wears a VR headset. They interact with the bomb and they have to describe what the puzzles are to other people. And then the other people solve the puzzles for them. So it's a lot of communication and explaining things really clearly and well, and working as a team to make sure that you don't get fucked on.
yeah, and Trip's really good at the puzzles. So whenever I'm just the bomb guy, I feel really confident. Like, because I feel like the only way we can fuck up is that if
Well, you're good at describing stuff. Yeah, that's actually one of the reasons that we do this podcast is because we're good at describing anime.
But that part, I feel really confident. Like, cool. As long as I tell Trip the information he needs, we're not going to blow up.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah.
And then when you do the thing, I'm like, oh, fuck, I really hope someone can pick up the slack because I have to be taught the puzzles.
The whole time I'm like kind of teaching, like, I'm like, watch me do this. Like, this is how I do this. And then there was one puzzle that we were doing, and we had to like explain how it goes like a couple of times in order to get it. And then the way that Sierra was writing everything down was way fucking different than I would.
It worked.
But it still worked. Yeah, it was crazy. So immediately I'm just like, I have no idea how that works. But hey, man, you think that way, I think this way. That's awesome.
It's for sure not a puzzle that I could do. I do the simple ones. And then Sierra, when she does the VR thing, like, I think she's okay with it. But, you know, you're there to do the puzzles, and I'm there to kind of help. So I feel like if we really want to, we think we could, you know, run the gambit and do the whole game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so someday. Anyways.
So fun-ass times.
So my week's been super chill. Break's wrapping up. I got one more week, and then I'm back at school.
Hey, man, you see that new episode of The Good Place?
I did not. You know, I haven't watched that. I was going to binge it when it was done.
Yeah, I mean, the new episode just finally came out after like a month or whatever.
They weren't on break or something?
Yeah.
Huh, weird.
Yeah. And then the new episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, now that it's switched over to NBC, that just came out, and it was great.
Is that season 8 or 9?
I don't know. Fuck it.
Anyways, well, what would you do this week, man, besides watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine and...
Listen, man, I was pretty much working, and then I had Pathfinder Day off. It's been chilly times. It's been a chilly chill time.
Cool, man.
And tomorrow I have a massage. Shout outs to me.
Oh, Future You's probably super happy.
Yeah, hell yeah.
What do I have to do tomorrow? Tomorrow, I have to go to the Verizon store.
Gross.
To go to a date with Sierra.
Ugh.
And I also had to sell a phone. I have plenty of things to do tomorrow. None of them are fun.
No.
That's not true. I'm excited for my date tomorrow. I'm going to go bowling. She doesn't know this yet.
What?
We're going bowling.
Well, she's going to know this by the time that you go bowling. That's going to be embarrassing.
That's going to be embarrassing. Oh, well.
Hey, man. We just learned something cool.
Oh, yeah. So we did learn something cool.
I'm like, can you pick this up?
Yeah. So next weekend, Sierra and I are going to SF for a friend of ours who is having a baby.
Heck yeah.
So what are those called? Baby showers.
Yeah.
So we're going to go shower a baby. I've never been to one. Guys usually don't get invited to them from what I hear.
No, usually not.
But anyways, you know, she's a friend of ours, and it's a kind of a coupley thing. So everybody's going.
Pin the tail on the baby.
I guess.
Like who can drink this bottle the fastest, pound the bottle.
Yeah, so we're going. It's going to be a good time. It's more for Sierra. It's also me to be cool to see her friends and say, hey, congrats on having a baby, blah, blah, blah. Here's the cool part. Fuck the baby part. Here's the cool part.
Whoa.
You know what I meant. The cool part is apparently the girl who is, you know, pregnant, who is having the baby shower, has a younger sister who listens to the show, which really blew my mind because
You fucking with me?
No, she listens to the show. Her name's Mariah. Apparently, she likes the show. She has a couple friends she listens to the show with, and she's like, she was surprised to hear that, you know, that her sister knows me, and that I was going to the baby shower. I was like, she's like, cool. So I get to meet a fan in person. Hopefully, she's
real life fan.
Hopefully, she doesn't like. Here are my two worries. One, she's gonna freak the fuck out and be too excited, and I don't know how to handle that. Or two, she's not going to give a fuck about me and just ignore me, which would make me really sad. I want a good medium. So, Mariah, when you hear this, I want you to be like, hey, what's up, bro? I like the podcast. Give me some knucks, which is like, you know, some knuckle touch.
Yeah.
And we know, I don't know how old you are, if you're old enough.
23.
Oh, yeah, right. I do know. Yeah, that's right.
Shout outs to 23-year-old Mariah, who lives at 1458 Baker Street in San Francisco.
No, it'd be cool to talk to somebody who's a fan that I personally don't know. Like, you know, a lot of people who listen to the show is people who I know, like, firsthand.
Yeah, like, or, you know, just like a friend of a friend type thing. But this is like a very surprising.
Yeah, no, it's a stranger, essentially, someone I've never met before. So it'd be cool to talk to her and see what she likes about the show, what we could do better. So
yeah. So Mariah, you can rub his tummy all you want.
Don't listen to him, no.
Juan gives you permission to full tummy rubs.
There you go. Now she's not going to talk to me. Mariah, what we do want to say is thanks for listening. And
thank you.
It's going to be cool to meet you this weekend. And congratulations on your sister having a baby, blah, 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 all that stuff.
Speaking of good news like babies, why don't we get into the news?
Let's do it.
Because we have to go quick because there's like a billion things to talk about. So check it out. There's a little show that people like. I don't remember the English name for it. It's something about teasing. But Karakai Jouzu Why can't I fucking say it?
It's a Tanaka's son, right?
Takagi-san.
Takagi-san.
Yeah. I'm like, wow, I can't talk right now. Apparently the day's just getting to me. So yeah, Karakai Jouzu no Takagi-san will receive a second season. So shout outs to Fun. Everyone likes Fun.
I'm super excited because I actually really liked that show when it came out last year, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it's getting a second season.
Big old forehead face.
Little slice of life kind of thing. And it's about like a boy and girl and they're in middle school and they like each other and they tease each other. And it's all up my alley.
Hecka rad. Speaking of hecka rad things, people that like this show or this manga are going to be excited that it has a show. How many kilograms are the dumbbells you lift? It's going to have an anime adaptation. People are fucking hyped. It
sounds, from the name, it sounds like it's like comedy that follows like a weight lifting team or something, and that sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, it's some chick. All I know is that
weightlifting chick.
Yeah,
that is super fucking cool.
Is that the promo picture for it that's posted on our Instagram? I encourage everyone to go check it out. It definitely looks like it's going to be like an ecchi show.
Okay, we will.
I was so surprised. It's like, in this comedy show, weightlifting, and I'm like, bitch, that's just like your fucking abs and stomach, and like it shows like your thigh gap, and like, okay.
Oh, that's going to be super fun. I can't wait for that.
Hey, the new Fruits Basket anime is going to premiere in April this year, 2019, and it's being made by TMS Entertainment.
Cool. I don't know what that is, but people are probably happy about that.
You don't know what Fruits Basket is?
We've talked about this before. You tried to explain it to me.
And little, like, what's her face in the other room there, Sierra.
She likes it.
She knows what it is. She's
all about your sister, apparently.
Yeah, and my mommy.
Yeah, I thought that was super cool.
Yeah. Long story short, get fucking hyped because we're going to watch it.
Okay.
All right, cool. Also, things that we're not going to watch, just a heads up for anybody out there that hasn't watched Goblin Slayer yet. Do not watch the first episode of Goblin Slayer on Verve due to an ordering error in the episodes. Oh. So essentially, they put the recap episode as the first episode. Beginning? So it'll start streaming that one before they stream anything else. It'll spoil a ton of shit. So be fucking careful if you're watching it on Verve. Just go watch it on Crunchyroll.
Way to fuck up, Verve. Shit.
Watch it on High Dive. Watch it on fucking anything other than Verve just because of the ordering.
Yeah, this episode's sponsored to you by Verve.
Yeah. So I thought that was crazy, though. I'm like, dog.
Well, it's not the first time something's been out of order. I watched, what's it called? The... something Melancholy of Susan New, whatever.
Yeah, well, that's on purpose, the way that they do that.
No, I watched it even because we talked about this when we reviewed the show. Like, you explained how
3 different orders.
You explained how it's supposed to end and how it's supposed to be played, right? And somebody had it in an order that wasn't any of the ones you're supposed to.
Yeah.
And I just I started with the really weird episode and ended with a really weird episode, and I don't get this. I still really like the show, but I don't remember. Maybe it's Crunchyroll. Or no, maybe it's Hulu. It's somebody. Somebody fucked up. I'll tell you that right now.
Don't ever watch Haruhi.
No, that's not true. It's a good show.
Yeah, never. I know. I recommend it.
Yeah, you told me it was a really good show.
Wait, it was a fun time.
We talked about this, and I really want to get into this real quick. You talked about how recently you were saying that online or on High School Host Club is now considered dated, and it's a show that you can't. Back in the day, it was like a tried and true show. Go to it. It's a solid show, but now it's too it's no good no more.
It was one of the first really good parody harem slice of life, genuinely funny shows.
But now with
its own plot too, that it took seriously. They did a lot of things right.
But apparently now for new generations, it just doesn't make sense to anybody.
Well, the jokes just don't land. They don't pack as hard of a punch just because the pacing is different. For the time that it was at, it was oh shit, okay, right on. But now things have turned to more bombastic, faster paced.
Do you think Haruhi will ever have that happen to her?
I already feel like it has.
Really?
Yeah. Dude, look at fucking Bunny Girl Senpai.
Oh yeah, it's such a good show.
Are you kidding me? That's like Haruhi on crack.
Yeah, you're right.
Everything's better on crack is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So this week, Juan and I got really into crack.
That's what we're slurring.
Actually, speaking of drugs, our little city here.
Why would you bring that up? Yeah, there's been a tragedy. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, our little city and the area surrounding it is dealing with some crazy drug breakout. Yeah. Fentanyl. It's not a harmful drug really, unless it's taken in large doses or mixed with alcohol, and then it's like super fucking deadly if you mix it with alcohol in your system.
But what I heard, anyways, so there's some sort of get together that happened here in town, and
which my coworker knows 6 of the people that were involved, and one of the ones is the one that died.
Yeah, my brother-in-law knows the guy that died.
Fucking crazy.
And my family, like the Gordo Burrito family, knows one of the guys that got sick. Like, anyways,
what the fuck?
14 people were like overdosed, and then one of them passed away.
Crazy.
And then I heard that, like, I think a few days later, at like the casino, like it must have been
Country Casino.
It must have been the same batch of drugs. Like 3 people were hospitalized because they OD'd.
Now up in, I don't remember if it's Reading or Red Bluff, same thing.
Well, you know what it is? It means that there's one batch of this shit going around. You know, someone must have cut something with fentanyl and they put too much of it, and then they're mixing with alcohol, and it's fucking just dunzo. It's bad
it's killing people. And my maintenance guy is like, yeah, you know what happens when that happens? Yeah, the dealer, he's gone.
Yeah, they get
nobody knows where he goes, but he's gone. And it's like, oh shit,
well,
okay,
he killed a bunch of people. That being said, it's a really bad thing. It's super sucky, you know, but shit happens. And the only real advice we can give is when you buy drugs, make sure they're good, you know? Yeah. Make sure you know where you're getting your drugs from. Because I'm not going to tell you to stop doing drugs. Do whatever the fuck you want.
Go to your priest, make sure the drugs are
make
good.
Sure
Get them blessed.
Yeah.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is, like, if you're going to do drugs, that's fine. But just don't be taking shit that you didn't, like, because you imagine they're just at a party having a good time. And someone's like, hey, do some of this. And like, I trust you. But do you trust the person they got it from? And sadly, a bunch of people got sick. Somebody died. So super shitty. I'm glad this is what we're talking about now.
Yeah. Also, like, don't do drugs.
No, that's none of my. Okay, hold on. Here's my stance on drugs. Here's my stance on drugs. It is none of my business what the fuck you want to do. Do whatever the fuck you want. I don't agree with drugs. I don't think you should do drugs.
No, okay.
But do whatever the fuck you want.
I'm like, Juan, you don't do drugs. Why are you encouraging
we just
people?
Did crack. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, crack's not a drug. It's a necessity.
It's a way of life. No, I'm just saying, like, if you're going to, just make sure it's safe, I guess. I don't know. I'm not your fucking mom is what I'm saying. Okay, Mariah, I'm not your mom. I'm not your dad.
Winter 2019 preview. Let's fucking get it.
Was that all the news?
Yeah, that's all the news. I don't have much news, man. Are you kidding me? It's the first week of anime. We got so much. The way that I'm going to split it up is Crunchyroll, because I'll get to the good stuff first. So y'all little fuckers that just have Crunchyroll can go off and watch all your good shit. And then we'll get to Amazon for the like 5 people that still have Amazon Prime and know how to find anime on there.
Fucking Strike was so cool. Man. It was just so dumb that it cost me $8.
Fucking retarded.
Because I already paid $100 for fucking Prime.
Mad, dude. I was big boosto right
so we're going to go Crunchyroll, Prime, and then High Dive, I'm assuming. Okay, cool.
Hey, dude. Whoa. Your deduction's on point. Speaking of deduction, a little show called Boogiepop and Others, made by Madhouse, is based off of a light novel. And this is a show that a lot of people were really looking forward to. I did not know anything about it, but I do have some opinions on it.
Okay, I also didn't know anything about it. You sent me a trailer like the day before it was supposed to air, and I was like, oh, it looks interesting.
Honestly, the animation is clean as fuck. It's Madhouse, so you know it's going to be good looking. It's just a matter of what they do with that. Yeah. So, essentially, the first episode didn't have a whole lot going on. The second episode has a lot more going on, but it's a lot of different stuff. So they decided that they should air the first 2 episodes together. Otherwise, people might not be as interested in the show and they might drop it. So anyhow, lots of stuff was going on. The first episode is essentially there's some weird stuff going on in town. There's like people are dying, girls are being killed and disappearing and whatnot, but people don't really know what's happening.
There's this weird, like, what's it? They're calling it like some sort of spectrum that people are seeing around called the Boogiepop or whatever, and it's kind of like this boogeyman-ish thing, you know, that people keep seeing. And yeah, I think it's specifically girls are killing themselves, right, or disappearing. Yeah,
so it's Boogiepop is the name of the boogeyman type thing. So yeah, girls are dying and they're being eaten by manticores and Boogiepops. And this one girl happens to like be a Boogiepop sometimes, but she's like a good one. So we don't know much about her.
It's kind of described as like split personalities. Like there's 2 versions of her, whatever. The Boogiepop version and like the normal version, I guess.
Yeah, essentially. And there's a guy who has a crush on her, and then it's like, oh man, but you don't know the real me or whatever. And so, are you listening for Sierra listening to Game of Thrones?
For sure, keep going.
She's jamming on some Game of Thrones. It's no biggie. If you hear it in the background, well, you know what? You know what we like in this household, so whatever. Honestly, the animation looked clean as fuck. It was all really good. The dialogue didn't really feel like it mattered too much at this point. It was just trying to get a lot of information in really quickly. There was a lot of weird stuff going on. So you've got this character that you could tell is like not a good guy, but isn't really a bad guy. And it has another version of itself that's definitely a bad guy.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's essentially like an alien that's trying to learn more about people, and it made a clone of itself so that it could learn more, but the clone went rogue. So that's a little part of it. And then Boogiepop is trying to stop bad stuff from going on. That's what she calls herself. And there are them other Boogiepops around. It was all fucking weird, man.
So the show looks good in my opinion. The animation's pretty solid. It just a lot of it felt really convoluted, especially for 2 episodes. And my issue was after coming off last season and seeing something like Bunny Girl Senpai, where it's like it's high school students are like there's sometimes like this scenery is high school.
And they're treating things really seriously and whatnot.
And I really like the dialogue or whatever. So the beginning of Boogiepop, you see them at school and they start having very generic like anime high school dialogue. It was
like boring as nothing dialogue.
And I was like really like irked by it. But then like very quickly we got into some really just huge like sections of like dialogue and a lot of like talking and a lot of things just being said, and it was almost like too much. And like
I understand why they were doing it.
No, I do too, but it just it felt like they wanted to tell a super cool story, but they're like, damn, we have to explain some stuff. Let's just do it really quick, and then we can do like the story part, Yeah. And that's what I didn't like about it. I don't know.
It felt off. I'm going to see what happens next. I watched 2 episodes. I'm down to watch a third. The third one's already out by the time that this episode that we're recording airs. So I want to see more, but it has like Parasite the Maxim feels to me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Which I wasn't super into it, but then like by the end of it, I was digging it.
Yeah.
So
I'm not convinced by it after the 2 episodes. I don't think I'm going to continue watching. If you do continue to watch, right, and like it just becomes like the best show ever, let me know.
Listen, man, I will definitely keep you up to date. People fucking love this. It's made by Madhouse.
Yeah, no, I like Madhouse.
I have
too.
some faith.
I used to be like a Madhouse, diehard. Yeah. Like that was my favorite.
That was the only thing I
really didn't know anything else. But
honestly, it's because Madhouse put out some of the highest quality content
back in the earlies.
Yeah, look at Death Note. That's like one of the biggest shows.
Still a banger. No, so I mean, I have faith it can be something great. I just know that this didn't captivate me enough, and I'm going to pass on it for now.
Probably a good call. Cool. And I'm going to keep checking it out. I'll keep you guys up to date. Next up, The Price of Smiles, made by Tatsunoko Production. It's an original show, believe it or not. And I am going to let you talk a little bit about this one, because I think you either enjoyed it or hated it more than me, because you said you liked it, but I was like, I don't know.
Okay, so The Price of Smiles is I had to scroll through them because I watched so much fucking anime, didn't take any notes. So which is
right. As I'm doing it, I'm like, hang on, I gotta pause this episode. What's the show called again? Oh, that's right.
So in The Price of Smiles, we followed like this princess, right? This is right?
Hell yeah.
And she is on this, I guess, this planet, like this, it's not Earth.
Yeah, so it's some kind of a sci-fi world.
I think it's her 15th birthday, and so she's going to become the queen of this planet. And we see like that she's really positive, really uppity, really like go-getter kind of attitude.
Yeah.
And everybody around her seems really nice and positive. And she just is trying to do her best, and it's kind of futuristic because I think at one point they actually say, back when we were on Earth, because like they're descendants of humans, but they're not.
There are other colonies on different planets, whatever.
Yeah, so she wants to be the best princess everywhere, like ever, right? And then like people bring her like real issues like hey, we're fighting with our people on the border with the other fucking nation or whatever. What do we do? And she's like, her attitude is very like, look, I just want this entire planet to smile. Like,
that's literally it. She just wants everyone to smile.
She's like, bitch, that's the name of the fucking show. Like, I want all these people to smile. I want this to be Planet Smile, essentially. And so people are like, cool, that's a really positive way to think, but that's not how the world kind of works.
Yeah, but there's a little bit of kickback from a couple of
people who are more like realistic. And so it's the main character, and she has like her homie who is like, she's like his bodyguard, essentially, kind of like a knight, and they battle in these giant mechs. And he fights for her honor in this first episode, and he wins with her help.
A fake
It's a simulated battle. Yeah, it's a simulated battle. She wins with her help, which in my head was just like kind of defeats the purpose of him being like, I want to fight for your honor, but then this bitch had to help you win, you know? Anyways, the end result is like she's, you know, gung ho on like making sure the world becomes a better place, and he's decided to go to the front lines and, you know, be like have like a first person view of what's going on. And then we get like at the very end, we get this short clip of like how the world really is, and we see that like there's just war everywhere, you know, and that they're doing their best to like keep this shit like under wraps or whatever, and keep like prospering essentially. And I have a feeling that this show's going to be one of those shows where like she's going to have to realize that like everything's not perfect, and that she's going to try her best to make it great. And there's also like another character who is also a girl, and I think she is also a leader for a different nation, but she fights in the mechs. I didn't hate this show.
I absolutely hated it.
I didn't hate the show because I thought the mech fight was kind of cool. I know that you and Kyle and Mike, I thought that was interesting. There was and I mean, you guys were like poking a bunch of holes, like, well, what about this? What about that? I'm like, yeah, but they were robots fighting robots, and I'm a big fan of robots fighting robots.
I would be into it if it wasn't every single robot death was from a knife slash. Well, that's literally it. They're just knife slashing. What's the point of fucking bullets if they're not going to do shit?
Robots are immune to bullets. Only knives can slash them. Okay, so that's your guys' fault. Okay, it's not a perfect show by any means. I'd like to if I did. I don't think I'm gonna continue to watch the show, but if I did continue to watch the show, I'd like for it to get really dark. I think it'd be really cool if like a show took a darker turn and war broke out or something. Realistically, it's probably gonna be like she's gonna meet people, and then she's just gonna make everything perfect with, you know, just her spunkiness and her great attitude or whatever, which is probably what they're gonna do, just because it kind of feels that way.
Yeah, she's probably gonna have some point where she kind of breaks down, but then everything works out.
I don't think the show's all that like amazing. I don't think it's horrible. For sure, there's way worse shows out there, but I'm not gonna keep watching this, and it's not for me.
Yeah, no, I hated this show because it just feels like another sci-fi political war show, and instead of being just that, it also is just like, and here's a little Lolita girl for all y'all to jerk off over.
Yes.
So I'm not vibing, big not vibes. But things that I am big vibing on is a little show called Rising of the Shield Hero, which is being made by Kinema Citrus, and it's based off of a light novel. This first episode was like 50 minutes long.
Yeah, it was two-part, kind of like Boogiepop, where it's like two back-to-back or whatever, right?
Yeah, but instead it was all one episode. Yeah. And then this is essentially an isekai show, so in another world type show, whatever. This dude gets summoned in, and there are a bunch of other people there, and he's immediately thrown in. Like, it's not just like ooh, I'm here, let's figure stuff out. No. It's like, oh, I'm figuring it out right now. Yeah. And I like that element to it. There are some other people that have weapons. He has a shield, and they have like a sword and a spear, and what's the last one? And a bow. Yeah. And they're all there suddenly just in this room together, and they come to this royal hall, and there's a king, and essentially they're being told immediately, like, hey guys, so you guys are pretty important people, and you're going to be like our heroes, and you got to go level up and have a team and whatnot together. But you guys can't work together because you can't level up if you're with each other, but you can get experience and level up. So it's like very video gamey. Yeah, it's immediately just like video games.
It's very video gamey. It's very throws you in there. It's like, you guys are the 4 chosen fucking warriors from, you know, Tales Past or whatever, and, you know, shit like that. And it felt, at the beginning, it felt very like, oh, I've seen this before. This is an isekai that, like, it's just like any isekai or whatever. Right. And they were pretty like, I mean, we've seen shows where they go heavy on the video game elements, you know, but this one, like, you know, specifically like, you know, Reincarnated Slime or whatever. There's a lot of video game parts to that, you know, but this one was like, it was like right there. There's like a fucking menu bar, and it showed you like them equipping shit.
He's like bringing shit up. It's Sword Art Online immediately.
What's it called? There's a skill tree or whatever, you know. And I was like,
which honestly, the skill tree made me pretty fucking excited for the different directions things could go.
It looked pretty cool, but I was like, okay, cool. In my head, I was like, I get it. It's just going to be this, and he's going to be the best at everything.
Well, guess what? He has a fucking shield, and nobody wants to be a part of his party.
And he's also like the one person in Japan who's never played one of these kinds of games.
Yeah, of
so
course.
He's very like he gets the gist of it, but he's not like instantly versed in like how this world works, which is perfect because I fucking hate it when someone shows up in an isekai and they're just like, oh, I know exactly how to be the best at everything.
Like, all right, I got this. I thought it was an interesting point too that each character comes from a different world. Yeah. They're not all from the same world. So like, hey man,
fucking dig that.
Do you have these games in your world? Because like, this is kind of like ours.
Like,
it's like, I've never played one.
Game.
I know what it is.
My favorite point was like when they're like, hey, who's on the $1,000 yen? And they all say a different person. And they're like, holy shit. And they keep saying different things. They never answer all of them. But one was like, who won World War II? And I was like, oh, fuck. One of these guys is from a unit, like a world where Japan won. So he's like a super Nazi or whatever. Anyways.
Crazy shit.
But the show diverges because like it changes. It becomes to a point where like he gets like caught up in some sort of scandal. Like they say that he rapes somebody who agrees to like be his teammate, and it's all a lie. Like this girl's just taking advantage of him, steals all his money, steals all his equipment, leaves him essentially with nothing.
He learns some hard lessons real fast.
Yeah, and everybody like, it's fucking dumb. I mean, this is a little ham-fisted, but it essentially goes like, okay, well then he goes, just send me home. He's like, the king's like, well, we can't send you home until all of you guys defeat the wave or until all of you guys die. That's just how it works or whatever. And so he says that, but he also says, but look, you're also not going to get any help from the rest of the fucking nation. We're not giving you any more money, and no one fucking trusts you because we hate rapists or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is, you know,
very understandable.
Yeah, which we get. But it's pretty dumb to be like, okay, you still need him to be one of the chosen warriors, but you're refusing to fucking help him, you know? So you're essentially setting all the other 3 warriors to fail. But all the other 3 warriors are very high and mighty, like, yeah, fuck this guy. This guy's a rapist.
Yeah, just like, whoa, man, okay.
Yeah. And so then he goes, and then he says, well, fuck you guys, I'll figure out shit my own way. And then he starts doing things his own way. And I'm like, wow, I really like this character. Whoever this guy is.
Oh, so good.
I'm super excited to see how he takes on this world.
Essentially what happens is they're really little shitty enemies. They're called balloons, and they just chomp at you. Since he's a shield hero, he has resistance to them since they're just level 1. They don't do any damage to him.
So they bite him, he doesn't feel it.
But other people out in the world, they might be like traders or whatever. They're not heroes. They're not equipped to fight these little fuckers. So he lets them bite the fuck out of him. And he could like persuade people by being like, hey man, this is the deal. And they're like, actually, I'm going to be an asshole to you. And he's just like, oh really? And he pulls out one of these and he's like, I'll fucking let it kill you.
He just wears them underneath his cloak, and they're just always biting him. And so that's
which I think is fucking hilarious.
I thought that was so. I'm like, that's so fucking clever. He like, this is how he like convinces the merchants to not fuck him over on a deal, even though, you know, they don't like him. He's like, cool, you don't have to fucking like me. Give me a fair price. I need to level up.
Yeah.
And then the big issue becomes he realizes, look, he can't level up because he can't do any like physical damage, and since he can't go like and do any like attack damage, because no one will help him, he can't like farm for more XP. So he's kind of like in this broken cycle. And then like the most fucking anime circus dude shows up and is like, hey man, you want a fucking slave? Yeah. And he's just like, yeah, I want a slave, which super surprised me, right? Because I'm like, awesome. Because realistically, any other isekai, the person would have been like, this is wrong. You should have slaves. I'm the best boy ever. But he's just like, yeah, I need a slave.
Yeah, he's like, I'm in this game. I gotta fucking, I'll take a slave.
And then he like peers like up behind a curtain, and there's just like this little fucking cat-eared bitch. It's like, well, of course you fucking pick her, you pervert.
Yep. So, anyways, really, really good show. The animation is on point. The characters are really well written. This plot is really interesting. They just did a good job overall. I want to see more.
I really like the outro for this season, for whatever, you know, like it shows like a bunch of stuff, and it makes me go like, wow, this might be like a really fucking solid show. So yeah, this might be one of my favorite shows of the season so far. So I'm going to continue to watch
this. Another show that I am, I'm kind of on the fence if I want to watch it or not is Mob Psycho 100 season 2, made by Bones. It's based off of a web manga.
That was a joke.
Yeah, it was. So for anyone that doesn't know Mob Psycho 100, it was an incredible show. It's done in an art style which is pretty fucking gross looking. It's beautiful, but it's disgusting.
It's just not what you would imagine like good art to look like.
No,
but it's so different. It's so beautiful, well done, and it's animated beautifully.
Absolutely. So, anyways, first season it was incredible. It made me laugh a lot. They had some really cool fight scenes. It had some dynamic characters. Just a really great show overall. It's made by the guy who does One Punch Man, but it's a very different kind of show. It's still like a superpower hero show, but it's very different than traditional superhero. And then second season here, the intro. Whoa. blew my fucking mind. Some of the best animation I've seen.
I think we talked about this when I brought this up. I was like, look, man, I love Mob Psycho 100.
Yeah.
I love the intro of the first season.
Yeah.
It might be my favorite. Like, it might be my favorite intro ever. Like, they have everything I want. It looks great. The animation's wild. The visuals are on point, and the song counts. It's a bumping song.
Yeah.
I was like asking, he's like, hey, Trip, for the next season, should they just leave it the same? Kind of like when I brought up like the One Punch Man, I was like, should they just leave the same?
And I'm like, nah, man.
I don't know. And so when this intro came out, I was super worried. Oh man, it was perfect. It's so cool.
So good. How are they going to top this one though? Because honestly, the animation blew my mind. They did a lot of things that were kind of like optical illusion type things,
homages
right?
to homages to other like styles of animation and these optical illusions. Like they did the wind, like the fucking like the
wheel with different little
spins,
pieces, like different cells. So you're essentially watching like a little animated thing.
They did the kaleidoscope thing. They did the thing where the colors move over. The bars move over each other and they make the thing dance in the background.
God, it was
super cool.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So well done.
And that's just the intro.
Yes.
So in this season, Mob is, still in school or whatever. He's still working with, is it Rainen, right?
Reagan, yeah.
Reagan as his assistant. And someone convinces him to go to run for student body president.
Yeah.
Because, make him braver. Because this girl wants Mob to be like the leader of a cult that she's accumulating, which is super funny.
Right. Also, they want him to be like more popular so he could get a girlfriend. That's like Mob's goal. Like that's how they convince Mob.
That's how they convince Mob. She convinces Mob that way, but she wants him to become student body president so he can build up his confidence, so she can eventually bring him to her cult that she's accumulating.
Yeah.
So he could be the leader. It's crazy. And the first thing he goes like, oh, I want this girlfriend. Of course I'll do this fucking
Hell
thing.
Yeah.
And he fucking blanks on it. He does a horrible job.
Yeah, but he practiced and he's like, I'm going to fucking kill him. And then he gets up there and he's the only person ever to not say anything in his 5 delegated minutes or whatever.
He just stood there. Some girl ends up asking him out and he's super surprised in a Mob fashion. He doesn't know what to do.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I think he rejects her. Like he doesn't actually go out with her, but he does walk her home and they start hanging out. And eventually we find out that she was dared to ask him out by her friends as a joke. And, she's like, you don't have to waste your time with me or whatever.
Yeah.
And Mob doesn't he doesn't like her or anything, but he's such a nice guy.
Dude.
He's just we can still be friends or whatever.
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't even get how to be friends. He's just
right.
Ugh. And I think she was writing a story, she's writing some sort of novel, and her friends find it and rip it up, which is super fucked up.
Yeah, well, they're like, "You're doing this?" She's like, "Well, not seriously, but I started, so I might as well." Yeah.
And he's like, "It looks like you put a lot of work in this." He's like, "No, I didn't put any work in it. That's lame." And he goes "Fine, then you won't care if we rip it up." I'm just saying, if your friend ever does that to you, the child who's listening to this podcast,
yeah,
dude, fuck that friend. I mean, don't fuck him. I mean, just forget
have sex with him. Okay.
No. What I'm saying is that's super cold. Anyways, they rip it up, and Mob starts collecting pieces in a very sincere and honest gesture, and he wows her by he uses his powers to bring all the pieces together, and he glues it together and he gives it to her.
And this is the first person that's not telekinetic or psychic or anything like that. You know?
He rarely shows his powers to people. So he's like, look, man. It was oh yeah, by the way, I have superpowers. Here you go. And she's like, oh, thank you. And the coolest part, zooms out, the girl that Mob actually likes, who is always hanging out with the bell pepper and the onion for some reason.
Eggplant or whatever.
She's sitting on the slope of the riverbank, whatever, because it's Japan,
it's anime.
She's just smooth, and I was like, ooh, this scene, this entire episode, that last shot was very smooth. So yeah, this season looks like things might go in Mob's favor. He might find some sort of happiness. Not that you need a woman to be happy, Trip. Wanted to make that clear.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see the rest of the season.
I'm fucking stoked. It looks great. I'm excited. Next up, My Roommate is a Cat, made by Zero G, based off of a web manga. Whoa, boy. All right, so check this out. Show looks immediately like just some fucking trash shoujo fucking bullshit.
Very basic art, very basic characters, very just blah.
Yeah, I don't know. It almost looks like it was made for girls, but then it also looks like who fucking knows who it's made for, because I don't know, man, the genre is weird, but it has that style of shoujo girl anime, right? So anyways, there's this dude who, how old are they? Is he in high school or
no,
is he?
He's in college. He's
in college.
Like he lives by himself. He's a writer. Yeah.
Well, I just wasn't sure because he was visiting his mom's grave. So that means that he could be any age or whatever. He's visiting his mom's grave, and then a cat comes there, and he essentially just adopts the cat. He's like, oh, okay, sure, whatever. He writes books. That's his thing. And the show was dry. None of the characters were memorable. I was fucking bored watching the whole thing. Honestly, the whole time, I'm just barely getting through it. But then suddenly, like, the cat starts fucking like talking, but not like actually talking, but like, you know, in the cat's head, we get to hear its thoughts
hear its
or whatever.
monologue, essentially.
Yeah. And then it's worried because our main character has just been writing, and it's like, oh, fuck, I gotta like feed him.
Hasn't eaten all day yet.
That's fucked up. I remember when my friend died on the streets and I tried to feed him, but it was too late and he died. And like shows you that scene. And I'm sitting there like, yo, what the fuck?
It wasn't his friend. It was his younger sibling.
Yeah,
it was
okay,
like, it was even darker.
Man, it was so fucked up. It just suddenly fucking just pulls out this old plot line. Oh, Jesus.
You know, so the issue with this show is, it had, because obviously I'm not, and I've said it several times, I'm not the biggest fan of cats. I don't like cats. I'm allergic to cats. I'll put up with them. I put up, the cat I like the most is Jenny, and I'm so mean to Jenny.
Well, you know.
Yeah, fucking bitch. But so I'm watching the show. I was like, okay, cool. Just a cutesy show about a guy who has his cat and he's a writer. And it had those shoujo vibes. And then halfway through the show, we see the exact same plot of everything that happens, but now through the cat's point of view. And I was like, wow, this is kind of cute. I kind of see some merit in it. I understand why people will like this. I still don't like love it, but I understand why it's going to be successful. Because people love fucking cats.
Yeah, they love having sex with cats.
And the best part of the show was honestly when like the most interesting character in the show was the cat.
Yeah, I don't want to watch it at all.
No, I get it.
Essentially, it's for people that like cats a lot.
Yeah, you like cats, but like but not like.
I like cats in a healthy way where I'm like, you know what? Animals are pretty cool. You don't have cats sex with cats. Are low maintenance, so I'm down.
I really dislike the people who are just like, I get animals are cute or whatever, but when you like want to hang out somewhere, you're like, oh my God, you have a cat, and then just go straight for your cat and they just play with it for like hours, and you're just like, cool, you're in my house, I guess.
I mean, hey man, nothing's wrong with that.
Cat people are the worst.
I'm not saying anything specific about cat people or dog people, but what I'm saying is like some people are more social, some people are a little bit less social, and usually the people that are less social and more introverted connect more with animals. So I don't know, man. It's just a whole thing.
It's not for us, but it's not like. But I get I understand it's gonna be popular. Like I understand that because this cat is cute and he's feisty. Or she, I don't know if it's a guy or girl.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
For sure not going to keep watching it, but good for you guys. It's better than I thought it was going to be.
Cute shit, just not my cute shit.
Not my kind of cute shit.
Next up, Meiji Tokyo Renka, made by TMS Entertainment. It's based off of a game. So, essentially,
Do you want me to help you?
So this one was a really weird one.
This one sucked
essentially
dick.
what I could say. It was not good.
So it's about a girl who is essentially
sad. She's sad.
It's about a sad girl who can talk to ghosts for some reason.
Yeah.
And she didn't know other people couldn't talk to ghosts or hear them. So she essentially became a loner, and she
has no friends at all.
All she does is listen to her headphones because she just want to hear the ghost talking to her. And then for some fucking reason, she like ends up in another world. And
she time travels. Yeah.
And she's just surrounded by a bunch of cute boys, and it's essentially that, you know, that show which is like, which flavor boy do you want? Because they're all gonna fucking hit on her.
It was really, I don't even know what time period it was.
It was like a non-existent time period. It was
like they were going to a ball and they had like a harem of boys to all be like, ooh, we're all personal.
But like the time period that this would have existed in, first of all, like the chariot was wrong, like the clothes they were wearing was wrong.
Everything was fucked up.
The colors of their hair, the colors of their fabrics don't exist in this time period.
Weird ninja shit. But
it was
like not.
Yeah, no, it's just one of those shows where like it's geared towards women who like those shows where it's just like a bunch of cute boys fawning over one. It's like reverse harem, right?
Yeah.
Essentially. I thought it was bad. I don't think it's any good. I don't see where this is going. Oh, and some people call her like the squirrel. Some people called her like she's supposed to help catch spirits. Like there's a fox that showed up, and I have no clue what's going on in the show.
It was weird as fuck. None of the characters mattered. It was bad. Nothing grasped at me. The animation was like very clearly, oh, this is for chicks.
It made perfect sense that it was based off a video game though. I was like, why? Yeah. Because the story's convoluted or whatever, and it's just like, yeah, pick the boy you want to date, and then the show's going to continue from there. I don't know. Bad show.
I don't really. Yeah, nothing to say about that. Lots to say about The Promised Neverland, made by Cloverworks, based off of a manga. Now I read all the manga that I got for Christmas. It's a good fucking manga.
It's the worst show of the season, though.
So I'm going to be that guy that compares it to the manga the whole time.
Well, don't worry. I will also be the guy that compares manga to the anime because I also read the manga of one of these shows.
Oh, shit. No way. No way, Jose.
Yeah, you'll get to see when I compare. And I go, well, in the manga, they actually did a little differently.
In the manga?
In the manga. No, this is a show that's been had super hype for a while now. And I know it's not just from you, just like from the world in general.
Exactly. Like, the only reason I wound up reading it is because of the hype the world had.
And I'll tell you this show did not disappoint.
Oh, man, it delivered. It was crazy. I mean, we knew that Cloverworks was good based on their previous projects, but this one in particular, after reading the manga, I was like, oh, man, it's going to be hard for them to fuck this up because it is so well written. They are just good to go.
So, I mean, we've talked about it a little bit in the past, but essentially it's about like these kids that live in an orphanage and they're all, have tests and they're super smart. And, there's 3 of them who are the main characters and they're all the best at everything. And then one day they discover that they're living on a fucking farm, right? For like monsters.
Yeah.
They're fucking meat essentially. And they have to realize, oh fuck, we got to get out of here. And that's just like the bare minimum. And that's all you really need. Because everything else because I could go through and explain to you exactly what happens, but you should just fucking watch the show.
The kids are genius, really smart. So the writing is pretty cool. There's a lot of just telling you kind of what happens at the very beginning. Yeah. Because there is, it's one of those things where it's hard to just show you it because the characters are thinking about so many things. Yeah. And their conversations are a little bit more difficult to have too because they have to hide everything that they're doing.
Yeah, no, I really like
it's interesting.
I really like the look of the show. I thought the monster designs were fucking terrifying, in like the best way possible.
Oh yeah. See, after reading the manga, my only complaint
here it is, fucking purist over here.
The extra details in the background. They didn't do too much, which is totally fine. They don't need that extra detail, but having it from the manga was like, oh man, it's fleshing out the world more. Yeah. So that's really my only complaint is that you get this amazing story with these great characters, just beautiful animation. I think some of the best facial animation, which I'm so happy that they did, like knowing that the author and everything has said the most difficult thing for him is to have those reaction shots, is to make their face feel like these feelings that nobody really gets to feel in
very
the real
often.
world.
Yeah, no, I saw like a screenshot of like what's the main character's name? The girl,
Emma.
Yeah, it was Emma, and like in the beginning of the episode, she's like super happy, smiling. I was like, oh, well, great. And like the next one, comparing it, is like a shot where she sees like the most terrifying thing ever, and like her face is just completely different.
Yeah, but it's still her. You know it's her.
So there's so much
incredible.
Like there's so much feeling in the face where it's like, wow, this is like a different tier. One thing I want to talk to you about this off the air, but I guess we talk about it now. So what's the name of the boy that has like dark hair?
Ray.
Okay, so they didn't like because they only had the one episode since this came out. And Emma and the other homie, white-haired homie.
So there are 3 main characters. There's Emma the girl, Norman the white-haired boy, and Ray the black-haired boy.
Yeah, so Emma and Norman find out about like what's really going on, and Ray doesn't go with them, and they come back and they're like, oh shit, we gotta get out of here. Like we gotta get the fuck out of here. I somehow like have this like inkling that Ray already knows or whatever, or knew before they knew, and that's why he was so adamant about like, hey, just go give her the bunny or whatever, and that's why and that's what I thought they were gonna come back and like go to Ray and be like, shit, we saw this, and he was gonna be like, yeah, fucking I know, dog. So I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Listen, man, there are a lot of things in this show that they put so many hints and so many little things. They think about everything. So if you're paying attention to every little detail, you can find out a lot more about what's happening than the show lets you know, for sure. Like directly.
I feel that way. I feel like if you pay attention, like, wow, they're not just doing nothing for like everything's there for a reason. So
yeah, essentially I'm going through the manga. There was one book where it starts out like it always has notes from the author, and it's just like, hey, in that last book, we actually put what the meaning of their tattoos on their neck are, because they all have these number tattoos on their neck. And clearly it tells you pretty quickly, like, yeah, that's how they're identified as like
the
meat, as like cattle or whatever. But it has more meaning behind it than that. And he said like, oh yeah, in this book we like told you about it. were you able to find it?
Were you paying attention?
It was a secret. And I'm like, fuck, I didn't. Oh my God. But then like I start watching this and I'm like, I get it. I fucking get it now.
I do have a question. So you read four volumes, right?
Seven
volumes of, you have 7 books?
Yeah.
You got 7 of them?
Yeah. So I know everything that happens in the first season.
Oh, you think it's going to go throughout 7?
Oh, easily. There's a point where it's going to end the season, and then without spoiling too much,
spoil it.
The next season's going to be completely different.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm excited for The Promised Neverland. I think it has, the makings of a great anime. So
it's the one that I'm most excited about, just to see. I know everything that's going to happen, but I want to see how the manga compares to the anime with the music. Mostly because I'm a huge music guy.
You're so lame.
I love seeing the animation.
You read ahead. That's so lame.
So goddamn stoked.
So lame.
So, anyways, I'm gonna be that fucking guy. Promised Neverland. I think that's the show that everybody should watch this season.
I'm that guy for My Hero. It's like, yeah, I already know what happens.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's so cool seeing it.
It is cool,
animated and whatnot.
But I think I'm gonna leave this one in the shadows. I
think that's a really smart choice. The fact that it's already being made.
Yeah.
Unless they pull an Attack on Titan and take like 6 years or something.
Dude, fucking hold your fucking tongue.
It's Cloverworks, so we don't know. They haven't done shit like that. So don't worry. Next up, we're going to talk about a very different show than the one we just talked about. It's called Rinshi Ekodachan, made by a fuckload of studios, actually. Each episode is directed by a different studio and a different director. It's based off of 4 Koma manga. So when you watch this show, you'll turn it on. You'll see it's like 24 minutes long per episode. It's actually like 3 minutes long. With like a shitload of talking.
Oh my God.
I didn't watch it.
No. So yeah, so it's like you said, it's based off 4 panel manga.
4 Koma manga.
I nailed it. Anyways. So yeah, so the
I nailed it. That's so funny.
So yeah, so it's really short, and then right after it's done, we get like a behind the scenes with the directors and the voice actors, and there's like, hey guys, guess what we're doing for this season? Like every episode, like you said, is directed by a different person, and every episode has a new voice actor, and so it's like,
everything's constantly different,
and so it's just a bunch of like really boring. In my opinion, boring like discussion over this really shitty show. Like,
you know what? It's about a sassy naked girl. She essentially,
I think she's a sex worker.
Maybe, yeah.
You see, there's not really a lot to go off of, but it looks like she speaks what's on her mind. She likes to be naked a lot, like even in her room
all the time.
She's always sleeping with different dudes. She goes here and there, and like she talks about like not having children, and it's like, cool, you're a very independent woman, cool. But I think she's and again, nothing wrong with being a sex worker. If you want to be a sex worker, go ahead and be a sex worker. I'm not going to stop you. Just like if you want to do drugs, go ahead and do drugs. But it just, I think the art style was a little too much for my taste. It was like, in my opinion, kind of ugly, and the voice acting wasn't that great. The animation wasn't that great. And then afterwards they spend 20 minutes, about 20 minutes talking about a 3-minute thing that they worked on. I was like, cool. I think I made it 5 or 6 minutes in. I was like, yeah, I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
And they had a Fortnite dance in the first episode. So next up, we're going to talk about Rainy Coco Side G.
You're going to leave it like that, you piece of shit.
What, you want to talk about the Fortnite dance that was there for no reason?
Well, it's actually not the Fortnite dance, okay? It's actually
my goodness.
A young B Block Boys shoot that's on that song with Drake, and they stole it.
Rainy Coco Side G. It's another short anime. This one is being made by EMT Squared, made by Digital Manga. It was originally a digital manga. So this is like a sequel series to Rainy Coco, which is that show where the dude opens up a coffee shop in Hawaii. But this time it's about a group of girls, and literally fucking nothing happens in the first episode.
It ends on a cliffhanger. How do you end a show that's 3 minutes long on a cliffhanger?
So essentially, they don't say specifically what it is, but our main character girl wants something from these other girls, and none of them are willing to give her whatever it is that she wants from them or agree to whatever it is.
Yeah.
But they never say anything, and then they're like, oh, well, I don't know. All right. End of the episode. Fucking nothing happened. What happened to the guy who opened up the goddamn shop in fucking Hawaii? Why wasn't this like, oh, here's the other shop that's opened up. Enjoy your coffee. Check it out. We don't have a dog. Instead, we have an owl or whatever the fuck they want to do.
Best show of the season so far. So.
Yeah, so anyways, I don't get this, but I'm definitely going to watch the whole season.
Well, yeah, because you're going to watch it when it's done. It's going to accumulate like to one episode.
10 minutes. It'll be fine. So skipping right on along to Wataten, An Angel Flew Down to Me, made by Doga Kobo. It's based off of a 4-koma manga. I think this is Juan's favorite of the season.
This show sucks.
What?
This show is
are you
not.
kidding me?
This show is
name
so.
one thing that's weird about it.
Oh, one thing that's weird about it. Let's see.
Just one thing that's weird.
So there's this college chick who gets her fucking rocks off on seeing a little pretty girl dress up in cosplay, and she takes pictures of her.
Hell yeah!
This show really does suck, though. It's about.
I mean, it's made by Doga Kobo, so their whole shtick is cute shit, but
it's creepy,
they get fucking weird. Yeah. This one's really fucking weird.
I feel like I couldn't tell you for sure, but if I had to guess, Uzumi Made from last season, I feel like they might have done the same show. Like they're like.
I mean, I couldn't tell you for sure either, but I can tell you for sure that these same people did Gabriel Dropout. They did Umaru.
Did they do the three piece fucking 3 angel beat piece or whatever?
No,
I was gonna guess that was part of it.
They did the Kobayashi Dragon Maid.
Yeah, okay, so the thing with this show is that it doesn't look bad. It looks really good, actually.
It looks Doga Kobo style good.
The animation's pretty cute.
Color palettes are pastel and super cool.
Yeah, it's a bunch of watercolor. It looks great.
Fucking beautiful.
The point of the show is that like the
older sister of some girl.
Yeah, this older sister of this younger girl is introduced to this younger girl's friend, and she instantly becomes obsessed with her.
Goddamn
obsessed. She wants to
obsessed.
measure her, to make clothes for her, because she makes cosplays clothes. She wants to take pictures of her. Everything she does is super kawaii. Oh my god, she's so cute.
But this little girl is also like, yeah, I don't want any fucking part of any of that. Your older sister's weird as fuck.
Which is the way it should be. Like, if I go to your house and go, hey man, your little sister's cute, can I just take pictures of her? Fucking send me away, please.
Right? Yeah,
by all means, call the cops. But
the little sister, instead of being like, that's a little bit weird, she's like, I don't know, it's my sister. Who cares?
She's also kind of jealous at points. She's like, what? My hands are also soft, bitch.
Right.
You know?
Like, yeah, they are, aren't they?
And then she'll be like, I'm also cute, right, big sis? It's like, yeah, you're cute, but not as cute as fucking what's her face right here.
She's like, hell yeah.
And then the real fucked up part of it is the little girl really likes sweets, and our main character also happens to make the best sweets, and they will trade sweets for taking pictures in any position she wants, which is and like it was uncomfortable, and then it got really uncomfortable. At one point she goes, okay, cool, you both dress up as little kittens, pounce on her. And I was like, this is too much. And you know, I think at the very end of the first episode they introduced the neighbor girl who is like a little blonde chick, whatever. Yeah. And it looks like from the outro that she's just going to collect a gaggle of these little girls and she's going to dress them up in cosplay and make them do cute things for candy, which is fucked up. This show is not good. I mean, this show's fine if you're a weirdo, but go for it. Have a good time. Do drugs. Be a sex worker. I don't care.
It's my favorite show of the season. So the quintessential quintuplets made by Tezuka Productions. It's based off of a manga. This is Juan's favorite show of the season.
It's too good. Man, okay, so this is the show I made a joke of earlier.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
So our main character is this dude from high school.
Classic.
He's super broke. He's broke as fuck. You know how broke he is?
How broke is he?
How broke is he?
How broke
is he? So when he orders lunch, he orders a beef and rice special without the barbecue beef.
Oh, good call.
You know why?
Why?
Because it's cheaper than just an order of plain rice, and you also get like a couple extra sides.
Ooh.
And he drinks water, all the water he wants for free. He's super studious. He's a really smart kid. He gets perfect scores, and he happens to run into this new transfer student who has the world's biggest bops for some reason.
Hell yeah!
And they're talking. They have this like conversation. They end up not liking each other because one's rude to the other. Blah blah blah. And then in some weird fucking twist of fate, it turns out that he's got a new job lined up to be the tutor for these guys' daughters, 5 daughters. He needs to tutor them, and they're paying 5 times over the normal price rate, which would super help him out because apparently homie is super broke and is in major debt. Only to find out that it is the girl he ran into yesterday who had some scuffles with, and her 4 sisters. And guess what? They're all in the same grade, and they all look the same because they're quintuplets, and they all have the same size bops.
But don't worry, they have different personalities.
Yeah, and I think the very first part of the episode is like him talking about, well, it's finally here. It's my wedding day. So it's led to imply that he's going to marry one of them. And we get to see her face at the end, but because they all have the same color eyes and same shaped face, it's not really clear which one it is. And because I think in the marriage thing, like her hair is a different style and, it's a different color, that none of them really have that color. It can be implied that it could be any of them, even though we all know it's going to be the first one he ran into. That's the one he's going to end up with. Listen, man.
I want to hear this. Okay. As a depraved 12-year-old kid.
Oh my God, yes. This would have been my fucking shit.
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Okay, like honestly, as a depraved 24-year-old man, this would have been my shit.
Okay.
But I'm 25 now, okay?
Yeah.
My depravity has leveled up to a new level this season that has never been met before. There's another show that's more depraved than this, just 1,000 times better, and is right up my alley. This show, it's not bad. It's not good. It's perfect for whoever wants to watch hentai without watching hentai. Hey man, fucking hentai haven's gone. We got to get our hentai somewhere, and apparently Crunchyroll supporting it. I don't think it was bad. Man. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, but it's not for me. I'm gonna for sure watch it.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you want to see a smart boy that likes cheap food wanting to bang some hotties, this is the show for you.
It doesn't make sense how all their bops are the same size. You know, it doesn't make sense. I guess they're twins.
Science, man. They're quintuplets.
Sorry, I guess they're quintuplets, so all their bops are the same size.
You know what? Let's just move on. Got to move on to Girly Air Force, made by Satellite, based off of a light novel. This was Juan's shit. So, just a very, very brief overview. All right, we got science jets. And they essentially fight flying girls, you know.
Are these your notes?
Yeah, and it's all based off of Renka 7, but they decided that they wanted to really dumb it down as much as possible. They just wanted to go underground, and we're like, yeah, these are the morons that have never seen television. Let's give this to them.
This show is a better Renka 7, essentially.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So apparently in this world, Japan has been attacked by some sort of aliens, right? And I guess the world's been attacked by these aliens. Our main character is Chinese, even though he doesn't look Chinese.
Oh my God.
And he apparently speaks fluent Japanese.
Totally does.
So they go to Japan. They get saved by this fucking airplane that's red, and then apparently can move the same way these other alien moves.
Hell yeah.
Other planes can move.
And why can that happen?
Bops? Is it cakes?
No, it's because of love.
It's love. Okay, yeah, it's love. So this kid wants to join the Air Force to help fight the aliens, right?
Your fucking expression, you're just looking off into space God damn, this show's so stupid.
I was trying to remember what he was doing. That's right. He's trying to join the Air Force. And then here's where the Eureka 7 part comes in, which I totally missed until you said it.
Yeah.
He breaks into the fucking Air Force base, or they bring him in, and the bad guy holds a gun to him. He's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you because you're a bitch. And then the big old jet engine behind him turns on, and okay, that's enough. We don't want to upset the fucking jet. And they go hey man, sorry I did that. I wasn't really gonna kill you. Anyways, this is our plane. We put some alien tech in it. It's alive. Apparently it likes you, kind of like a Renka 7. Yeah, you want to join the Air Force? So it's the perfect show. It's not that good. I don't think
it's sure something, man.
It's not the worst thing out there. It's for sure pretty lazy. It's essentially, it's going to be a harem, and he's not going to want to fuck any of them because he's just going to want to fuck a jet instead.
Whenever I text my coworkers about the fucked up anime shit I'm doing, it's always fun at the beginning here. I'm like, all right, guys, I'm about to watch a show called Girly Air Force, so I'll see you in hell.
Was this the one where I was like, this is just a basic harem, or is that another show that comes up later?
What the quintessential quintuplets was a basic harem.
That was a basic harem, right? It's good to know.
That was classic.
It's good to know that we can still go to our roots and just make a shitty harem for no reason.
Hey man, that's what I'm talking about. 12 years old.
I can't wait to watch it, man. 12-year-old us would have been like, this show's so dumb, and then we've been like, oh my God, this show's so good.
Right? Just I would be on Newgrounds, where's the show at, you know?
This show's bad. Don't watch it.
Yeah,
the girly one. Watch the quintessential quintuplets. Don't watch the girly Air Force.
All right, so check it out. New show, new topic. Magical Girl Spec Ops. What am I doing? Magical Girl Spec Ops Asuka, made by Leiden Films, based off of a manga. Now this show, I don't know how I feel about it exactly. Mm-hmm. I am gonna keep watching.
Okay,
I'm gonna see how I feel about it. But it's essentially what you think it would be. It's going to be like a more intense version of like a magical girl show. Mm-hmm. Essentially, this girl's parents get killed, and she has to start fighting again. She used to be a part of like a special ops team, and her crew, essentially everyone died but her. And she's got to get back into it. There's like a crazy killer man.
Actually, I think so. Like in this world, like Earth was attacked by like these weird cute aliens, and
and they used to have to fight these giant monsters.
And then like these other aliens came to Earth and like said, hey, we had to deal with these things too. Let's help you out. And so they trained them and taught them about the magical world ways. And so a group of them set up and started fighting these bitches.
I mean, of course, there's more backstory. Yeah.
What I wanted to say is like I think her parents dying was before actually what happened recently. Like I think that was a flashback because her school uniform was different.
Yeah.
But yeah, she the show, I wasn't convinced at all until she started fighting people.
Yeah, at the end.
She beat the shit out of people.
Like,
she cut them up.
She like sliced this dude's legs off and his body just kind of like fucking explodes.
He's like, I'm not going to kill you. He's like, I'm going to let you just have no legs. How do you feel about that? And I was like, that's fucking dark. But then she kills everybody else.
Yeah.
It's kind of etchy. Like the character design is drawn very sexualized. Like she has like, for a high schooler, she has like one of the biggest set of boobs in the world. Almost on the level of the quintessential quintuplets.
And every time I see these giant boobs, I'm like, why though?
Where in Japan are these high school girls having these massive tits? Please show me. Show me.
All over.
Please show me. I just don't get it.
You're on a list now.
I've been on that list. Top of the list.
Right.
No,
whoa.
But it's just like that's how I feel about it too, because I was like, well, the acting's really cool.
Yeah.
And I remember really liking what's it called? Magical Girl Raising Project.
Fucking incredible.
And I was like, that was super dark, and I really enjoyed it. And they kind of set it up like there might be, because there's a few other magical girls that are out there, and like one of them's was spotted in Mexico working for somebody illegally. It was like maybe they'll have her hunt down other magical girls, which could be fun.
Yeah. So she's been re-recruited,
and she's decided to she's like, I used to have to fight aliens. Now I got to fight just injustice in the world. She's essentially Batman.
Yeah.
In a skirt and massive tits. So yeah, I feel the same way. I don't know if I like this show, but I'm gonna keep watching
whatever. I'm having a fun time with it.
For sure.
But in like a less fun way than normal.
Yeah. It's not the level of Magical Girl Raising Project, but it's
it's something.
It's better than that one where they fucking bled out their eyes or whatever.
Yeah. What? Magical Girl Sight.
Way better than that one.
Oh my God. That was, we talked about that when we were watching the episode too. Just oof. Speaking of I wanted to see what this was all about, see if you did have to watch the previous things. Date A Live 3, made by JC Staff. It's based off of a light novel. Now, I've never seen any Date Alive things, but that's okay, I think. Jumping into the third season here. Well, it turns out that you probably you should have watched the first two in order to get in on this. But essentially, every season it follows a different storyline. It just has the same characters, so it doesn't do a whole lot of introduction.
Okay,
which makes it a little bit harder to follow. So I would recommend not going into it this way. It's essentially a super bullshit anime harem party where there's a boy with a bunch of girls that are like, "Ooh, I want to fuck you. What if I fucked you? How about I fuck you instead?" It's like a whole bunch of that, and then some fucking chick comes in. She's like, "Yeah, no, I'm just gonna fuck everything up." And he's like, "Ooh, no, we don't like that kind of fucking." So then he's about to like fight her, and it turns out that they have like superpowers and some shit or whatever. And she's like this big old magical witch chick, and she just wants to fuck everything up. And it's super not chill. And that's the whole season. The whole season is her fucking with shit, and they're trying to take her down and make her a part of the harem.
God, the way you speak is just so eloquent.
Well, when you're talking about bullshit, you really got to get down and dirty and say fucking a whole bunch.
Okay, yeah. Next one.
Honestly, dude, Date Alive, don't really get it. Not for me, but whatever.
Maybe you'd get it if you watched the first two seasons. Maybe that's where all the character development and this stuff was.
I wish you wouldn't anime shame me, but okay. I'm going to talk about Grimm's Notes, the animation made by Brains Based. It's based off of a game.
Yeah, no shit.
So this, you know what? I feel like there were a lot of cool things, but it just didn't land because the characters were boring as fuck. So essentially, towns have to follow fairy tales for like generations and generations. They've been doing
they have
this.
These notebooks that they follow.
It turns out that there are like these special story writers that give the stories to the town. They're like, this is your life. So it's essentially like their Bible.
But imagine opening the book and being like, cool, I was not cast as Little Red Riding Hood. I am just Baker number 4. There's 4 bakers in this town? What the fuck?
You know what? Don't worry about it. It's all good. Honestly, they had some like really cool character designs and some really cool ideas, but man, the characters were boring as fuck. And it turns out that if you have like a group of characters that you're supposed to follow the whole time and really enjoy, they need to be interesting. So what they've decided to do with this is the first episode opened up with a story most people know. It's Red Riding Hood. story of that is, hey, girl wants to go and deliver some shit to her grandma in the forest. She goes to her cabin. Along the way, she gets like tricked by a wolf. Turns out that the wolf goes off ahead of her and eats her grandma, pretends to be the wolf. The girl comes and she's like, what up? You're not my grandma. She gets eaten by the wolf. The huntsman comes and like rips the girl out of the wolf's stomach. This is like, you know, classic fairy tale type shit. And then everything's good. Well, in this, things got a little bit fucky-wucky because Red Riding Hood kind of knew that she was about to get wolfed, right?
She's just like, she doesn't want to get wolfed. She's like, people keep talking about when you get wolfed, when you get all wolfed up. And she's just like, dude, I don't want to fucking get wolfed.
Yeah. So she starts fucking lashing out. Well, it turns out that she was a little bit wolfy. She didn't know it, but she was actually wolf. Don't worry about that.
She was evil. She's corrupted at some point.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of like the designs of some things were like very like the Heartless. They looked like these weird like black things.
I totally agree with that.
And I was like, cool. And then I was like, wow, this is like a shitty bootleg version of like Kingdom Heart, and like they made a shitty version of like mobile game of Kingdom Heart, named this other thing. They used fairy tales and like, cool, let's make this shitty thing an anime. And I was just like, ugh.
Essentially it was just like Kingdom Hearts knockoff, but with fairy tales instead of Disney stories, which are essentially the same thing. But then it comes down to the huntsman and like mom or whatever being like, no, actually we really don't want you to die. That's kind of our whole thing, is that you're supposed to live. This is just a whole part of the story, so fucking go with it, you dumbass. But this crew of fairy tale
crusaders or some shit like that.
Exactly. I don't know what their deal is.
It's not clear what they are. It's not clear why they're there. They just know that they have to save the fairy tales or some shit like that.
They also have some kind of like magical girl transformation shit where they all like swap into their magical gear, and one girl and one guy both swap genders. It's really weird. So our main character guy turns into a girl.
Yeah. Which was kind of confusing. I was like, okay, cool. And she's supposed to be Alice in Wonderland. And then
honestly, really fucking cool.
Cool idea.
Like that design.
And the other one was supposed to be Cinderella.
Okay. All of their character designs are fucking killer. I love it.
I just think it's super dumb that like, because I'm supposed to care about these characters and then their powers or like the cards. I can imagine that you play these cards and play these attacks, turn them into a different character. So it's kind of convoluted. So like, even though we're following 4 characters, I feel like there's 8 sometimes, or maybe even more. And you know, when the outro cards started coming through, we were seeing like other characters that were going to come up. And I was like, oh, they're from that one, and they're from this fairy tale. It's the tell. You know how they can't make a good movie based off a video game. Like it's just like it doesn't exist. Like Prince of Persia, trash.
It can't work.
Fucking Assassin's Creed, trash. I feel like so far they can't make a good anime that's based off a video game. They're just lacking something, like a soul, essentially. It's just not good. This show sucks. There's cool things in it.
Actually, hang on. Can you shut your whore mouth for a second and we could go back to Final Fantasy 15 Brotherhood?
Yeah, but that was
I know
that's something so completely. That was a slice of life of like these fucking boys that didn't even follow the fucking game.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That was super fun. But again, I don't even fucking follow Final Fantasy.
So essentially, they just need to be like, all right, so video game, got it. We're gonna just take like these characters and make an anime.
At no point in Final Fantasy, the fucking Brotherhood shit where they're just like, let me show you these stupid mechanics about how the game works. I'm like, no, fucking just, I don't know. Show some backstory.
Yeah. And they were just hanging out and it was awesome.
Fucking go get a burger or something.
Hell yeah.
Anyways,
they got burgers.
The show sucks. Don't watch it.
True story. Next up, we're going to talk about a show called Endro, made by Studio Gokumi. It's an original story, and I am surprised by this. I want to see more. I'm not expecting it to be good because I'm going to be like, I don't want to be too optimistic. I don't want to get let down. Essentially, this is another magical girl type show. It starts out with these magical girls fighting a demon lord, and they fucking kick his ass by using some forbidden cards or something. And then the credits roll right away,
which is super confusing.
Yeah.
I was like, did they mess up? Did they play the last episode?
Well, if you read the title, it's called like
I got it right here.
Yeah, what's it called?
It's Still Too Soon. ...
That's what it's called. I thought it was called like.
Oh, sorry. It's still too soon for the end roll.
Yeah.
Exclamation point. Exclamation point, yeah.
Yeah. Still too soon for the end roll. And so it starts out like right away. 3 minutes in, credits start playing. And then it gets into it. Essentially, these characters defeat the demon lord, and then a new timeline gets started. Like they go back in time.
They wake up and they're just like, cool, it's time to go to school. And I was like, okay, I guess I thought it was going to follow them. This is my mistake. I thought it was just going to follow their lives after they slaying the demon lords. I was like, oh, cool. This is the show after the ending. I was like, it's a slice of life of how they just live a perfect life because the demon lord is dead. Wrong.
Which that could have been cool too.
Yeah, I thought that would have been interesting.
So, anyways, the demon lord sent them back in time, and he's been turned into a little girl that is pretty much immediately revealed to be their teacher.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of figure it out.
Is he sent back in time? I thought he just got sent back in time and he's just going to redo things, essentially, even though he's not the main character.
They had sent, like, everything got sent back in time. Don't know. Maybe it's because they used forbidden cards. It's something or other.
But so they're still in school. They're essentially in the fucking ninja academy to fucking become ninjas.
So they're learning how to be adventurers, essentially.
Which is what they are,
Yeah. So it's going over the different classes, and, we have your priest character, you had your fighter character. What was the other chick?
Yeah.
I don't know, Ranger, Mage, thank you so much. And then we had our main character who's just like,
classless.
And me. She's classless. Like, and I'm fucking here too. I'm going to be a hero. And they're like, yo, man, heroes can't exist because, like, there's no demon lord, and heroes only exist when there's a demon lord.
So
she's
funny.
like, but I'm gonna be one anyways. Yeah. And they're like, well, how the fuck are you gonna do that? She's like, I'm gonna find a demon lord. What are you talking about?
What the fuck you talking about, bitch?
I'm gonna find a demon lord and be a hero, you fucking dumbass. Which I liked. There were like a couple of really good jokes. It starts out in the class, and they're essentially just like, well, you can't be a hero. And she's like, what? But I'm gonna. Like, she does like a big old fucking thing and immediately cuts just like, but yeah, I'm gonna find a demon lord and I'm a hero though, so don't worry about it. Just, I don't know, they had some really fun little jokes.
It's super fun. What I really like about this show more than anything is the character design.
I was just gonna say, fucking amazing.
There's stuff that's pretty cutesy about it, but I really like the fighter has like these gauntlets that are kind of shaped like paws, but they have like diamonds on the bottom.
Well, the thing that's really cool about it is that in the first fight, you see her and she has these just like regular ass boxing gloves. They're like white boxing gloves. And then it turns out that those only get summoned when she's fighting. And she actually has these like crazy fucking metal studded knuckles on her hands. And then when they're back in the past, she has these
like a simplified version of it, kind of
these kick ass paws.
These paws with like these crystals. And like the mage has like a crystal thing with
just
the staff,
a really cool staff.
And eventually our hero in this episode, who finds a sword and which qualifies her to become a hero class, finds this like pink sword that's like made out of like some sort of crystal. I was like, this is super cool.
Lots of really cool stuff.
I really dig the fucking design, not just of them, even just like the other students in the in the class.
I love it because they don't just have like, we happen to have like, okay, we got like humans and elves and they all look pretty much the same, but some have longer ears, whatever. But then in the class, they have like little fucking weirdos and they have a fairy as one of the students.
They got like dwarves and fucking like, I would assume they're halflings or just imps or something.
Different kinds of races.
There's one that's like one that's dressed up looks a lot like a ninja. There's one that dressed up looks like an Indian, like a Native American warrior. You know,
they have lots of really cool things.
And I don't think they'll get a lot of play in this show. Like
probably not. But they probably won't be the highlight. That they put the thought into having these different character designs just in the background, on the sidelines, whatever.
The show looks really pretty. The character designs are really cool. I think it's interesting. I thought it was going to be a slice of life of a show that had already ended. I was like, I don't think I've seen that before. It's instead of like a redo of everything. So we're going to get to see the show from the beginning.
Yeah.
It might turn out to the very end, like they might befriend the demon lord and maybe they don't actually ever defeat it. Maybe
who knows what's going to happen.
We don't know what's going to happen.
It reminds me a lot of Magical Circle Guru.
Yeah.
In like a way better style.
Yeah. No, it looks way better. Magical Circle Guru is really cool when it's animated, but when it's does like the stupid like Pokemon
video game type thing,
it just kind of weighs on me. I'm not a big fan of that.
Yeah, no, I get that.
But it's cool because like I love when they're pulling out their weapons and she pulls out a club. You know, and it shows their stats. I'm like, what a dumb bitch. This show, so fucking goofy. This show looks like a lot of fun, and I might watch it actually. The more I think about it, it looks like just like a fun time.
Honestly, the mage's weapon though is one of the coolest weapons. It's just this really kick-ass crystal hammer type thing.
Oh yeah, it's just a big old hammer and there's a big old crystal at the end of it.
That's why I had trouble remembering her because I knew that she had that weapon.
She's a mage,
and the priest has just like a really nice looking staff. But dude, really cool things.
You and I are suckers for anything crystal,
right? I was like, ooh, I would put that in my butt. Like hell yeah!
Check the show out. I think it's worth it.
It was surprisingly good. The art style is like really colorful. It was just a charming show. It's not for everybody. I can tell you that much right off the bat. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. So anyhow, the next show is Kaguya-sama Love is War, made by A1 Pictures, based off of manga. People were so fucking excited about this show, man. They love the manga. Apparently it's just incredible. I hated the show.
I didn't hate the show.
Oh my God.
I didn't hate the show.
That kind of surprises me.
Yeah, didn't hate it. So the show is about, well, it has love in it. So like,
I know, but
I'm obviously super biased.
It felt like Psyche K to me.
So, fuck you.
And I'm going to tell you why.
Go fuck yourself,
I'm going to tell you why.
You know what? I'm done.
That's
I'm fucking
fine.
done, man.
I don't even know why you care. This is the first episode of the show.
How dare you trash it like Psychic. Anyway, so the point, we'll go through the plot. We'll talk about why you didn't like it. Okay.
Yeah.
So the plot of the show is there's these kids and they're like at a super uppity boarding school, and their two main characters are the president and the vice president.
And they're like the two smartest people in school.
President, vice president of the club. I mean, the student body. And they work really hard where they're at or whatever. They're very smart, intelligent, all this stuff. But they've learned that they've fallen for each other. Like they have feelings for each other. But one thing they both agree on is like, look, you can't ever tell someone you're in love. You can't ever confess to somebody because then they have all the power. Like, whoever admits their feelings first loses, and they're not with it. They never lose. They don't want to lose. So essentially every episode kind of breaks down into different chunks so far every episode breaks down to chunks of like them doing these different ploys and these different ideas and tricks on how to have the other one convince or admit that they confess to them, be like, hey, I like you or whatever. And more often than not, they always get through it. Like they always figure out how to make it a draw, or someone will win or lose, or someone will fail their mission, but no one ever confesses to the other person. And I like it. The reason I like it is because I think it was fun. I like the dialogue back and forth, the banter. Essentially, it wasn't like good. It's not like on the level of like fucking Bunny Senpai or whatever. But I do like the fact like they're coming up with these really convoluted ways to like try to convince the other person that, hey, tell me that you like me or whatever.
I like that too. I like it a lot.
When they both like each other. Yeah. It doesn't look all that good. They do a lot of like black and white like hypnotism kind of effects, and I don't really like that. But for the most part, I don't think the show's terrible. I don't think it's like great, and I don't know if I'd continue to watch it, but it's not the worst show in the world.
Yeah. So overall, I love the idea. I thought it was really funny. The reasons that they come up with, like trying to get the other person to fall for each other or whatever, like they're pretty fun, pretty interesting. But they have this side character that just gets in the way of every single thing that they're doing.
Oh, the secretary, right?
She feels like she is only there to thwart any plans. So there's no actual progress being made because she just fucks it up every time. Yeah. That's how it felt for the first episode. I know that they're going to like pull back on that a bit, but that joke didn't work for me.
I think what it is, and I agree, I also don't really like her. I think what it is, they include her as like she's the X factor, the random thing, the chaos that you can never control, right? Like the thing you can't predict, which they made it clear. I think they described her as that. Yeah. And so there's times where they'll be doing stuff and then she kind of just fucks up their plans. They're like, well, it's a wash, And I would like, as someone who likes plot, I would love it if every episode you saw someone get a little closer and there was actual progression. But I don't think this is that kind of show. This might be the very episodical kind of like, maybe at the very end someone will confess to each other, but seeing is the fact that it's like some sort of like a manga that people are super excited about. I bet you the manga is super long, and I bet you they've somehow still convinced, like they've gone this far where no one's lost essentially. Yeah. So I can't imagine that within the first season of the show they'll be like, well, someone lost, because I think it upset the viewers. So it's just going to be a lot of this over and over. So yeah, I can imagine this joke gets repetitive and boring. But for now, I thought it was entertaining.
See, my biggest problem with it is everything that they did, smart, entertaining, funny. The narrator just says everything that they did again, but says it to like explain it to morons that don't understand what they just watched.
Yeah, that's pretty dumb.
It's really simplistic too, what's going on. Like, oh man, that's some convoluted shit, but okay. And instead of being like, yep, that shit's convoluted, they're like, all right, so here's a breakdown of why inviting the other person to the movies is actually like a really smart thing. And I just felt like they were treating me like I was a fucking idiot. Yeah.
I think if they use the narrator, like if they could use, there's
narrators are funny.
Exactly. If they use the narrator more like sparingly and they used it like with more witty humor and like better stuff to say, like it'd be way more entertaining.
It should be a treat for the narrator to butt in.
To be like, hey, let me just break down what happened here, as opposed to like a play-by-play on everything. Because I do know, you know what? Yeah. Now that you say that, I do agree. The narrator was too much.
Really upset by the narrator. Annoying, yeah, no. I felt like it just made the first episode twice as long because I was watching it twice.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
It's super irritating. I felt like some of the jokes were really basic. Like, I liked the idea of how they would try to get the other person to fall in love or admit their love, rather. But I felt like a lot of the jokes were super basic, and a lot of it did rely on the secretary, which was just, it was cheap. It just wasn't very good. I felt like the comedic timing was off on a lot of the jokes too. So you see all the right things are there, but they're in weird places.
Don't you also feel like, because like, you know, the characters are shown to be really smart or whatever. And there are times where like one of them's just like, well, I can't say that because you'll say this, which is, you know, which is smart.
Yeah, it's super hard to predict. People should do.
It's smart. I mean, a smart person can predict. I can't predict what you're going to say next. There's no way I'm not smart enough to, you know.
Well, it's also, if you're trying to play a game with somebody or like try to outwit them in some ways, you start thinking differently. If you're just trying to have a normal conversation, you're not thinking about what that other person's going to say. You're just chilling.
So one of my issues, though, I feel like, you know, they groomed them or they had them set to be these really smart people. They do really dumb stuff sometimes. Like, like the main character, like the guy character, is so ignorant. Like he's just like, why is she upset? Why is she giving me those death stares? It's like, is she looking down on my meat? Because I don't know if I mentioned this. He's the president and he's super like smart and he's a commoner essentially. And he built his way up to be like this high prestige person. So like
her family, she's been born into wealth,
super rich. Yeah. So like he's like, is she looking down on me? Like, how dare she look down on my measly fucking bento? And so he just scarfs it down when all she wants is for you to offer food to her. And the only reason she's mad at you is because you're giving food to another girl, you know? But for someone who wants her to admit, hey, you love me, he does dumb shit. So yeah, no, I agree. This show's not perfect. No. But I tell you what, I bet you people are gonna fucking love this show.
Oh yeah, people do. They absolutely love it. The way that it felt like Psyche K to me is that I feel like Psyche K has a lot of really funny things and none of them land. And that's kind of how I felt watching this. I'm like, none of the jokes landed for me.
Well, yeah, the animation's way better than Psyche K, at least.
Oh, that's true. Absolutely. Because it's actually animated. So that's cool.
I'd rather watch this thing ever do Psyche K. It'd gouge my eyes out before watching Psyche K again.
So we're going to move on to Amazon since we're done with Crunchyroll. So if you don't have Amazon, you can just get the fuck out.
You missed one, though.
What?
You missed Saint Sei Satio Show. It's this weird one. Yeah, it's this one. Boop. Did you watch this one?
Was that a sequel?
No, it's a spin-off, actually.
Oh, a spin-off. That's probably why I missed it. Okay, what's Saint Sei's Sati? Yes.
So remember that show? Remember when we were in LA and we were like driving to somewhere and that guy's like, hey, I like anime kind of.
Yeah,
he told us about that weird show where like there's Pegasuses or whatever. And remember how we looked it up and it turns out that it's going to also be like an anime that Netflix picked up pretty recently.
Yeah.
So this is that show, but the show version of it, which is the girl version of it.
Okay, so the reason I didn't watch this is because a lot of episodes have already come out for it.
Well, yeah, no, but it's
they're on its 5th episode. Yeah, I didn't realize that it was there in this season.
I didn't know that either. When I checked it out, I was like, I mean, it came out this year for sure.
Yeah.
But they just have a bunch of this crap laying around, so they have it ready to go. So I'm gonna give you a quick rundown of it. I guess, man. Right? So it's essentially. It's like if you like those old school animes, like I'm talking like Astro Boy vibes or Mazinger Z or like this fucking what's a fucking 007 Cyborg 007 or whatever 009.
That one.
It kind of looks like that. Like the style of the anime looks like that, but today, like with today's animations, like it's modern technology, old style.
It's made by Studio Gonzo, and I think that they do a lot of things like that.
Yeah. So the show starts with like these two girls, and one of them's being like I think it kind of feels very like witchy. Like she's like, "Hey, eat this apple" or whatever. And she's like, "I'm not going to eat it." And then I think a character from the main series shows up and saves them. And then that inspires them to keep like fighting and become like better or stronger. And so one of the sisters stays home and she like trains martial arts, and the other sister goes away to train martial arts for 5 years with some really super duper, I don't know, fucking school for fighting or whatever. And then later we find out, it's very fucking, what's it called? Magical Girl-esque, very like very Sailor Moon. So they go to school and she gets attacked by this weird like rose monster, and then her sister shows up and she's in like the full armor thing or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
And she protects her, and then she tells her what she is, like very quickly explains like, oh, I'm one of these things. I'm a saint. I'm here to protect, fucking this lady right here who's also like, your classmate who's also like 1,000 years old. And then they get attacked again when they're at this chick's mansion, and the sister takes the hit. She becomes possessed. She gets taken away. And then the younger sister decides, I'm going to train to be a saint and I'm going to save my sister. And I watched the one episode. I was like, cool, this is for sure not for me. And sometimes I watch older shows or shows that have like older vibes. And it's like I really like Cyborg 009. I was like, this is interesting. Like there's parts of it that I enjoy.
Yeah.
This show, the pacing was just really old for me. The style I didn't really like. There's just like these old anime tropes that just I don't really understand. But if you're an old head, like someone who likes those older shows, this might be for you. This might be like your shit. It might be right up your alley.
Sure.
I just don't think that for me or a lot of people actually who watch anime now, this is going to be their go-to. So I don't know who it's marketed towards, but good luck. It's not horrible. There's for sure worse shows out there. So that's what I watched.
So yeah, this started airing in December on the 10th of December. It's technically considered a fall anime because of when it started airing, but since it's not even close to being done yet, weird. I don't know, man. Weird show. Yeah. It explains how I missed it at least. I'm like, oh, okay. It's categorized differently, except for in Crunchyroll. It tells you like it is airing this season. Like this is the new shows.
I mean, it is airing this season.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Because it's super fucking weird. If you weird to start a season at the end of your season, like it starts at the end of the fall. Like the very end. Yeah,
which is essentially what happened. So I wonder what happened leading up to it, like how this all happened. I don't know.
Next week, we'll find out.
I guess so. So anyways, Amazon. There were 2 shows on Amazon this season. The first one is Dororo, made by Tezuka Productions and Mappa. It's based off of a manga. Now, when I first started this, it looked like it was going to be a dumpster show.
Yeah, I thought it was you texted me saying like, hey man, this show's pretty good. The other one's trash.
Yeah.
And I was just like, are you sure you didn't get that text wrong? Like I'm watching the beginning of this show. I was like, this looks pretty fucking bad. Yeah. Just like something felt weird about it,
Yeah. So essentially it's based in feudal Japan. And there's a man, it feels like a very classic anime kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Where there's a man who makes a deal with demons to protect his land. He just wants everything to be his, completely safe, all good. Well, turns out making plans with demons isn't so great.
It's going to cost you some stuff, bro.
So essentially, as soon as his wife or whatever gives birth to his son, all skin and features are removed from the child. So
it's so brutal.
Yeah. So the kid, no eyes, no nose, no ears, no nothing, no skin. It looks pretty gnarly.
It looks like if you ever saw that episode of fucking Rick and Morty where Summer turned herself inside out.
Yeah.
It's just all gross. Meat. It's so gross.
Man, it's hecka gross.
But because this happens, he does get the deal. Like the deal is struck. Like he's like Demon's like, we got you, bro.
Dude, your land totally cool. Like your son,
your born son is fucked though.
And this could have gone 2 ways. It could have been like, fuck you, demons. I can't believe you would do this. But instead, he's just like, hell yeah, thank you so much, demons. This is the agreement that we made. I support that.
He just like fist pumps.
I mean, I liked that though. I liked that he was able to be like, oh, that's fucked, but like, hey man, and he just
tells his wife, he's like, hey, don't worry about it. Our second son gonna be so fucking cool though.
Don't even sweat it.
And she's just like, what? Like, aren't you upset? He's like, nah, it's all good. Send this fucking baby away.
Yeah, it was great. I loved how they handled that. So they sent the baby away on a little they essentially Mosesed the baby or what. Yeah, I don't know.
They Moses the baby away. They put him in a boat and they sent him down the river.
Yeah, that's what that's called, being Mosesed.
Yeah, that's Moses. Okay. They got Mosesed fucking hard. Mosesed all over your face.
Hell yeah.
Or what's left of your face.
So then it does a 16-year jump into the future, and we're following some little boy who's swindling people, and he's a little fucking cocky son of a bitch. And I liked him. He was charming. He was a little street rat.
His name is the name of the show, right?
Dororo.
Okay, cool. Right, that's right.
I believe so.
Yeah. Okay, good.
So then he gets into a little tussle with some full-grown adults.
A little tussle?
A little tussle where they beat the ever-loving shit out of him. He's holding his own. He threw a rock at a guy's eye, and then
threw a rock twice at this massive dude.
Yeah,
and like they're just like
fucking gargantuan.
They're not like going easy on him.
Yeah,
they're kicking and punching and beating the shit out of him, and then they're like, "Fuck it, we're just gonna drown you."
Yeah,
that was so hard to watch,
dude. It was brutal. Yeah, a little
and it
tussle.
went on for super long.
Right? Well, don't worry, because hey, you remember that boy? The one with no features.
Ah, yes,
no
we
skin?
just talked about him. Yes,
yeah. Well, it turns out that in this world, super cool stuff happens, like prosthetics.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy is all prosthetics. Somehow he can see some like real evil shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, turns out some real evil shit's coming on that riverbank that they're hanging out by. Just having their little throwdown by the riverbank, and he is there to protect them from this giant ass monster. Well, turns out that he just let the three evil sons of bitches
happen to die,
kicking the shit out of this little kid. Yeah, they died. And then this demon is defeated, and the little kid's like, holy shit, you were so fucking cool. Also, thanks for saving me. Also, you look like a doll. Like, what's up with everything?
Well, like I think it was super cute.
Dude,
like,
it was awesome.
He pulls out, like, he removes
pops off his hands,
right? And he has just, like, blades coming out of, like, the joint where it'd be, right?
Yeah.
And, like, he's just fucking wrecking shop, right?
Yeah.
And so, and you can tell he's been trained because, like, he pulled off both of his arms really sly-like. And, like, the kid, Dororo or whatever, he's like, hey, man, you're the best. And like, he puts his hands back on him.
Yeah.
And then something happens to him, right? Like, and he's like, he gets all shookish. And then his doll face falls off.
Yeah.
And we see his face.
And it's just like meat still.
Dude, it's fucking
gnarly.
terrifying. And then what's even more scary is this fucker grows skins and gets eyes. And I was like, what? What is going on?
It was hardcore.
And then we cut to like the temple and like lightning strikes the temple, which is, kind of weird. It's
ominous,
happened before,
right?
So, and then the main character, the evil dude from the beginning, like touches the scar on his forehead. He's like,
Yeah, he gets a little Harry Potter thing going on.
Yeah, and he goes to like where he had made the demon deal, and one of the statues is busted in half, and he goes like, oh, fuck. And then like the end of the episode is like this fucking prosthetic dude, he blinks for the first time, and we're like, oh shit. Like, he's gorgeous, by the way. He's super pretty.
Oh yeah.
And he looks like a doll, and he's just like, and I'm like, oh my god, this show's gonna be awesome. He's gonna fucking defeat all the demons and get all his body parts back. This show's cool. This show's fucking dope.
I mean, if that didn't convince you, like, it looks good too.
Yeah, it was really, man.
At first it looked like it was kind of a dopey art style, but then when you start watching, you're like,
oh, I get it.
Oh,
the art style is weird.
Great.
The way they do hands and fingers and toes,
yeah,
like
they kind of like mush it.
They look interesting. But this the fighting, like the way he jumped around and did all the sword stuff was super cool.
I thought you would like this, man.
I like it. I think it's interesting. I
want to keep watching it.
I do too. I think it's gonna be pretty good. And like the intro, we see him just like wrecking shop.
Oh yeah,
and it's like super cool looking. So I think this might be the best on Prime.
Yeah. Speaking of the best, this show is it's a close contender. It's called Kimurikusa. Yeah, something like that.
This show's bad, man.
It's made by Yaoyorozu. It's an original anime.
What do they make?
I don't know. I don't do that research for this because there's so much more. Okay. Yeah, it's not worth saying like these are all the other anime. Do you like those shit? Yeah,
jokes on you. They made fucking Kabaneri the Iron Fortress. No, they didn't. That'd be funny though.
So I'm just gonna read you my notes.
Let's hear it,
and let's see if you have anything that you wanted to add. First off, absolute pure garbage. Little girls fight giant red bugs in a post-apocalyptic setting.
Yeah.
I didn't put any more notes, but it's also important to note it's all 3D CG, looks like anime, but it's not.
Yeah. This show's bad. Like so
this
bad.
This is one of the worst.
Like where I'm currently studying animation. Like I go to school to do 3D animation, and there's scenes where I see what's going on. I'm like, oh, and I'm like, I could do that. I could do that better. Like I've seen classmates do this better. There's a specific scene where like they meet a boy and he's a human and he gets he's swimming in water. He's treading water and the swimming motion's so fake. He looks like he just translate up without there's no weight to him. And then he puts his arm on the edge of the thing and his arm clips into the thing. And I was like, oh my God, you can see the clipping. And if you look at their feet when they walk, they don't look like they're actually touching the ground. It's fucking jarring. It's really bad. It looks like The story's convoluted. The character design's stupid. The animation's ugly. The way they talk is dumb. Like they just like they're incompetent. They're just so stupid. And this is probably what Kyle's gonna be watching this season.
I'm gonna vote for this for Kyle. Yeah, sorry, Kyle, you are going to enjoy this show. He's like, I don't have Amazon, and I'm like,
well, you're coming over.
Yeah, you're watching this shit. You are sitting down one day and you're gonna power through it.
Well, it reminds me of is like I was saying, like it's like. It looks like GG Men's Party, whatever, but someone decided to extend it for 23 minutes.
Yeah,
but there's no memes in it. So this looks bad. I'm sorry, Kyle. It's probably where you're watching.
Fuck. Yeah, it's so bad. I just, there's no reason to go over the plot or anything. I encourage people to go out there if they happen to have Amazon Prime. I encourage you guys to go and try to.
I dare you
see what the fuck this show is.
I dare you to try to get through a whole episode without being upset.
Oh, it is so bad.
You were saying people online like this or whatever?
No. So there's one dude who does the same thing that we do. He gives like a 2 or 3 sentence summary. He like says the plot and says what he thinks about it in some way or another. And for this show, he went ahead and said it's terrible CG. He might be able to get over it. He's really interested in the plot and stuff, and he thinks that the show has a lot of potential, but it's going to be tough to get over the CG.
I think he's wrong. I think he's very wrong because I've seen shows where the CG is bad, and I was able to get over the CG.
Oh yeah,
like fucking like fucking Baki. I watched all of Baki. I got over the way the CG looks. There's no redeeming the CG. I can, as a junior animator, I could do better than this. So. I'll show you. I'll send you my fucking 1-minute animated story we produced last semester. Be better than this.
Hell yeah! Hey man,
there's so much more apocalypse in my story too, so it's way cooler.
I'm starting to fade, my bro. So let's talk about High Dive.
Let's do it.
You know the show called Bermuda Triangle Colorful Pastoral? Yeah, it's made by 7 Arcs Pictures, and it's an original story. Now, this show really impressed me in a lot of ways, because not only did it have mermaid girls, but it had them doing fucking nothing in the ocean.
Man, you got me. This show was bad, dude.
It is pretty bad.
It's like a slice of life, but they're mermaids, and there may be a mystery, maybe. Who fucking knows? This show looks... Here's the one shining factor. Their mailman is I don't know if he was a walrus or he was like a sea lion.
He's
cute
sea
as
lion.
fuck.
Yeah,
cutest thing I've seen.
Not only that, they have an otter companion, which is also cute as shit.
But besides that, the show's trash.
Yeah. I had a fun time paying attention to all their different tails because they had different fins.
Yeah, I did enjoy that. Something I paid attention to was whenever they were eating snacks, they would like pour their tea into cups and was like, "Bitch, how? It's how
if you're trying to do that, like fucking SpongeBob, man, don't worry about it." Okay?
They're eating like these weird looking like
pastries and shit. Yeah,
and, like they're biting into it. And, like, how's this stuff not floating out?
Yeah. I mean, hey man, whatever. That's all fine. Don't worry about that.
Also,
I had 2 huge. Well, one thing I thought was super cool, but also really dumb, is that they have this like crazy fucking void come through the town every once in a while,
and no one cares. Like whatever.
Yeah, they're just like go inside, and then afterwards it clears out all the debris and stuff in the air, all the like little particles of sand and dirt or mud or whatever. It clears everything out, so it's gorgeous afterwards. And I was like, oh, that's neato. But then this gave us the stupidest part of the show, where it was like, oh fuck, that knocked over a tree, and now we could see this abandoned theater.
This massive like temple looking thing, right?
And it's like, okay, so you've never swam up? Is what you've never swam up just like a little bit? Huh? You only go straight?
Also, where are the mer dudes? It's all mer chicks. Sorry, mermaids.
That's a good point. Let me just say though, that the seaweed chick, the one who was drying seaweed out in the water, best tale of the show. Best tale of the show.
I would make that into a quick hand roll, just fucking chop that shit up, put in the hand roll, a little soy sauce, a little wasabi, call me good.
All right, speaking of good, there's a show that you goddamn loved. You were fucking, ooh, and I did too. Domestic Girlfriend, made by Dio Media. It's based off of a manga.
Well, actually, I want to let you know something. I want to let you something. Okay. Trip, sometimes, there's just a piece of media that you just have to keep watching and reading. I don't want to be that guy, but I'm gonna be comparing this to the manga because I read it, all 10 volumes of it. No, I didn't read all 10. I read 10 chapters of it.
Really?
Yeah,
because you were like, "Whoa, this was so bad. I need to see what happens.
I have to know what the fuck happens. I have to know."
Holy
Trip!
Fuck,
I had
dude.
to.
Oh my god! Oh no, man! Here's the thing. I'm watching this.
I had to
for
know.
y'all little pieces of shit out there that don't know what we're talking about. Yeah, the show starts out. Characters already fucked. They slammed right off the bat, and
dude.
that's how you know it's a good show.
Our main character fucks. Look, man, I had to know what this was because after the first episode, it's like it says, "Hey, in 3 days, this episode 2 comes out." I'm like, I need to know what this is.
Like, I'm sorry, I don't have 3 days of my life that I could go without knowing what happens.
I was just so confused. Anyway, so. Our main character is in high school. He just had sexual relationships with another student that he never met. Like, he just met her or whatever.
Yeah, it essentially does a flashback, and it tells us all about that and how they did meet each other. Like mutual friends, never going to see each other again type thing.
It was a thing, like, she asked, because she's like, I want to know what sex is like. I don't know you. You don't know me. You don't look like a guy that would take advantage of the situation. Let's just have sex. How about it? And he goes, yeah. And the reason he says yeah is because he wanted to get over the feelings he has for his teacher, which are wrong, obviously. You know, she's an adult, he's a student. That's not cool, you know, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay, look, man, you can do drugs, you can be a sex worker, you can't fuck your student.
You can't fuck your student. You can't fuck your teacher.
That's where we draw the lines.
That's big no from us.
Look, if you're a student, you cannot fuck your teacher. But if you're a teacher, you can fuck your student.
Whoa, hang on a second.
Insert Ramen podcast. Do drugs. You can do drugs.
Whoa, okay.
You can be a sex worker. You can fuck your students if you're a teacher. But if you're a student, do not fuck your teacher. You've heard it here first. Anyways, what I'm saying is, the reason he had relationships with this girl was to get over his feelings for his sensei, which he felt were wrong. And it doesn't really work. He's still kind of just a gloomy little bitch. He's writing his book because he's writing a novel, and he feels like there's something wrong with his teacher. He has like this connection with her. Like, they respect each other or whatever.
I was laughing so fucking much during this show. I had so much fun with it. Okay. It was ridiculous.
Let me continue. So then he is informed very quickly by his father, hey, look, son, I've been dating this chick for a while. I think I'm going to remarry. And he goes, look, mom's been dead for 10 years. It's your right to remarry. I'm not going to stop you. Go for it. You know? And he goes, like, cool. They're here. She's here to meet you right now. And he goes, what?
I wish I had a little bit more time.
But here we fucking go. So he opens the door. New mom's there. She goes, hey, thank you so much for having us over. Us. And in my head, I was like, oh, fuck. Us. I know exactly who's going to be next to us.
Did you?
Oh my God, was I wrong? So Trip. He goes, us. Turns out that his future mom happens to be the mother of not only the chick that he just met and fucked, but his teacher who he has feelings for. Trip, I lost my fucking mind. I literally yelled, no. Like, it was like, I don't know how, late at night.
I was fucking rolling. Oh my God. I could not handle it. And so much of the dialogue is hella stupid and funny. But my favorite thing is the chick that he slept with makes like the best reactions and says the weirdest shit.
She's like, you better not fucking say goddamn thing or I'll kill you.
Yeah. And it's also like, what's your name? And she's like, this is my name. And then I think she also says like, I feel so uncool right now, or like some weird shit about that when she's talking about how sad she is. Just making these crazy fucking reactions. Oh my God, dude. It couldn't handle it.
And then, fuck. So they meet. You know, she has this moment with him, like the girl that had his new stepsister, the one that's his age. She goes like, hey, did he go? This was fucking crazy. They meet in the hallway and he goes like, hey, did you fucking know about this? Like, he asked the main character that. And he goes, yo, I had no fucking clue. I swear to God, I never would have fucked you if I knew you were going to be my new stepsister.
Yeah, like, listen, man, none of us knew this. This is fucked up.
And then she goes, yeah, I mean, I knew that my mom's boyfriend had a kid that was my age, but I didn't know it was you. Fuck.
And it's just like they essentially get thrown in this really fucked up situation because they're shitty parents that don't tell them shit. Like
they both agree. Well, she tells him how she feels like, look, I pretend this never happened. I really want my mom to marry your dad because your dad makes her happy.
Yeah, and I want our parents to be happy.
We shouldn't ruin this because of the one thing we did. It was like just it's never gonna happen again or whatever. And he goes,
like, yeah,
he goes, it's up to you. So he decides not to tell his dad. And then his dad's like, cool, it's great. I'm so happy that you guys are having a good time. And then you guys met each other. We're moving in together. Fucking dad.
Like,
what
are
a
you kidding me,
piece of shit.
Dad? Oh my God. And teacher fucking sensei decides she's going to take a bath. And then forgets she's not in her home at the privacy of her family. She has a new family to be around.
There's men in the house now.
She busts out of the fucking bathroom and she's like, "Oh man, what a great shower in my panties and nothing else."
Bop's just chilling with like a towel barely covering nips, you know.
And she's like, "Oh fuck, I didn't know. I didn't remember.
And mom's just like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? We have men here. And and it's like, cool. And she goes, puts on clothes. She just puts on like tiny, like pajama bottoms and like a very low cut top because she has big old boobs, obviously.
Classic.
And then she decides to get drunk because that's what teachers do, apparently.
Yeah. She loves drinking, is what we find out really quick.
Oh yeah, she's an alcoholic, and obviously sad about something because she's drinking the pain away.
Oh, yeah.
Our main character now has to fight with the issues of like the fact that he fucked his stepsister and that he wants to fuck his other stepsister, who happens to be his teacher, who just happens to lounge around the house drunk all the time, looking fine as fuck. Dude, this show's perfect. Oh my god,
he like tries to sneak in for like a kiss as she's asleep too.
Yeah, she tries to sneak in for.
Oh man,
so like the end of the episode is like he's got to take her to her room. He's like, oh, I feel you can't sleep out here because she passed out on the couch, and like she happily wakes up and says, hey, like I'm gonna be the best fucking big sister ever.
Yeah,
and he's just like, you know what this means? It means I have to kiss you now. So he leans in. He's like, just one kiss. All I need is one kiss, and I'll get over these feelings I have for you. He's about to kiss her, and fucking stepsister, who also is the chick you just fucked, walks in on you, and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
It's a masterpiece. It's amazing, you guys. So
my god,
tell me, give me some more.
I can't, man. You have to watch the show.
I need to know,
dude. Oh my god!
Does it get better?
It gets so good. Trip. So I'm reading the manga, right? And I'm just like, oh my god! Like what? By the way, the manga. I mean, the anime so far pretty spot on. There's only a few things that are changed differently, and it's only where it's like, just like, oh, they cut that because of time. Like it would have made it a little bit longer, but everything else pretty spot on. I mean, there's more. You see way more boobs in the manga.
No, I'm sure.
But it's pretty spot on. And the manga actually looks really good. Like, the art is solid. The art style of the manga is actually better than the anime.
I was going to say, the anime looks fine. So,
dude, like, the art style of the manga is fucking killer. Anyways, so I'm reading the manga. It gets to a point where it's like, holy shit, is this going to be a harem? And it's just like, no, it's not a harem. What the fuck is this? Dude, I'm so confused. Oh my god, I don't know, because like I read, like I said, I've probably read like 10 chapters. I'm like, when does the first arc end? Who's fucking who? What the fuck is going on? Trip. Now I texted you like, dude, this might be my new guilty pleasure of the season. Like, this,
like, yeah, I totally get that, dude.
You know, the thing is, look. You know how we have this, we always talk about like ecchi stuff and we're like, why don't you just watch hentai? Why don't you just
well, this is because it's not about the echiness.
Exactly.
It's about the twists and the goddamn turns. This show is insane.
So I was like, is it just going to, at one point reading the manga, I was like, oh, this is just going to turn into hentai. And I'm like, oh, they can't, because the manga doesn't turn into hentai at any point. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Anyways, so I'm for sure watching this show. This is honestly the only thing High Dive has ever done to me that's made me like it be worthwhile. Mm-hmm. Besides Tamaka Market and Tamaka Love Story.
Ah, those are so good.
But this show is so weird. It's, you know, I think it's interesting that this High Dive would pick up a show like this, because I know Crunchyroll would never do it. You know, it's a little too much. Prime might do it just because Prime doesn't give a fuck about anything. But High Dive might have actively searched this and picked this out to be like, look, it covers a market of anime that other people won't carry, which is a more mature anime. Kind of like, you know, like a Banana Fish was kind of mature, but it never really got to that point where it's like, ooh, this is a little risque.
Yeah.
This show is risque, but it's not like, but there's anime, but it's not like,
it's so dumb. I love it.
It's not etchy filth like that's on like that Crunchyroll accepts, you know? I don't know. It's like the HBO of animes. It's the fucking Sopranos of anime.
Honestly, you guys should check it out. Start your High Dive account. Go watch. It's like, you can do your trial or whatever.
It's worth $5.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Watch Tamako Market. Watch Tamako Love Story, and then dive into Domestic Girlfriend and decide if you're going to keep High Dive.
I'm going to keep High Dive. There's no way. If you ever fucking cancel High Dive, just send that shit my way.
I got you. Don't worry.
I'm going to watch it. I know you're going to watch it. I don't know how long you watch it for.
I don't know either. This is a treasure, though.
All right, keep going.
So, The Magnificent Kotobuki, made by WAO World and Jemba. It's an original anime. This one was pretty weird, but it was interesting in some ways. So essentially, this is like the Wild West. Imagine that. Okay, are you there? Are you in the Wild West? Are you in a saloon right now?
I'm trying to remember if I watched this one.
Okay, cool. Well, now that you're in the saloon, we're going to have a little fight, but we're going to have a fight with some girls and some dudes that are playing a little bit of poker. They're having a good old saloon time. They're talking shit about each other. Well, it turns out they're all actually fighter pilots, and they're into that. Sometimes there's 3D animation, sometimes there's 2D. It really plays fast and loose. Our main characters are all 3D though, because they are going to be inside of these fighter pilots that they're flying around and they're doing some super fighty stuff. Honestly, the flying and the shooting looked incredible. Like, they did a really good job with the accuracy of how a dog fight would look in a plane. They have some chick that's fighting a bunch of shit. She's tearing people down. You remember it now? You didn't watch it? One. Okay, so you missed this one. No worries. So she's tearing people down, and she has a little bit of trouble. She gets shot a couple of times, and she comes and lands. And she's got a friend who's like, "You fucking idiot. Like, what the hell are you doing out there? I can't believe you would get shot. Like, what the fuck is this stuff?" And honestly, they did a really good job with the flying. That's going to be a major point of it. But they didn't have any dialogue during it, essentially, which, you know what? If you're flying a plane, there's not going to be a whole lot of dialogue. I think they were going for accuracy in a lot of ways. Made kind of an interesting world where everybody's flying in this, like, saloon-ass, town-ass fucking plane. But then they hop into their little fighter planes and jump on out and fight some more people. It was interesting.
So what you're saying is that this show is a worse version of Girly Air Force?
Something like that, yeah.
Cool. Is it worth watching? Should I check it out or not? Or would it not?
No, you wouldn't like it.
Okay.
But I thought that the plane fights were really accurate, really good. Just if they had more anime-ass dialogue during the fight, just like, oh shit, I got this person on my tail.
When you say dialogue, is it like, do they not speak at all, or?
I mean, you know, she's like,
is it very realistic?
Making sounds and whatnot. Yeah, like she's in the plane, she's fighting. So it's pretty realistic.
For 23 minutes?
No. There's like the whole saloon shit that's going on beforehand and whatnot. But then about halfway in, she's fighting for a good like 8 minutes. I don't know. But
damn.
Lots of, yeah. So not a whole lot of dialogue, not a lot of story going on, but it was interesting. They really made an interesting world. I think that overall the animation, like that 3D kind of CG anime quality to it, it looked really good. Still looked clunky like a lot of the CG is. But I think it was the best looking. Like, it looked the most similar to anime out of everything that I've seen in their movements and whatnot. Like, it looked still like it was anime instead of being like, oh yeah, it's very clearly CG.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
like they're towing the line of being like, oh, it's almost to that level. But you can be like, oh, it's just anime.
Exactly. So, anyways, wouldn't recommend it, but they did a really good job with fighter pilot fights, and I'm excited to see if other animes kind of like pick up and they're able to make that level of intensity with things like that. Cool. So next up, we're going to talk about Pastel Memories, made by Project Number 9. It's based off of a video game, which is surprisingly not called Project Number 9.
Or Pastel Memories.
No, it is called Pastel Memories, but you know, the game Project 9.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
It's the Mega Man thing.
I do know what that is.
Yeah, okay. Cool. So anyways, Pastel Memories. This one was a really weird one because I thought I knew what it was about, and then I was like, wait, hang on, what the fuck is going on? Because the intro was very misleading too.
Yeah.
So essentially, there are a bunch of girls that work in a manga cafe, and they don't have as much traffic as they used to, because this is in a timeline in the future where Akihabara, the like anime fucking otaku capital of the universe,
the phase has passed.
Yeah, so everything has turned back into like regular businesses and whatnot. Yeah. So they're a very niche market. Not many people want to go there anymore. So they don't get a whole lot of traffic. But the people that do go there, you know, they have a little book for requests and just like saying things about their visit or whatever. And somebody's looking for one specific manga. They're like, hey, I saw that you guys had like this 2 issues or 1 issue or whatever of this manga that I really liked when I was a kid. I would love if you guys had more so that I could, you know, revisit my old childhood stuff. And I'm like, dude, that's so fucking true. I feel that. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, Digimon, I want to know more about it. Let's rewatch it, whatever it is. So then they decide that they're going to be the most chill ass fucking manga cafe in the universe, and they're going to go and find the other issues of this. So they're looking in their back room, can't find any. They decide to go everywhere, but nowhere really has it anymore. All the little manga shops and whatnot, they don't have many copies. If they do have a copy, it's like, oh, we only have number 6 or whatever.
Yeah, which is things they need, you know. So they're collecting essentially the missing pieces of the manga.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is interesting. I thought it was kind of boring. I was just like,
it was kind of boring, but it was a neat idea.
it was, I was like, it's like, oh, I get it. You know, fucking, it's like, it's just, I thought it was a weird show praising otaku culture in a world where otaku culture was gone. Essentially being like, hey, if you don't like otaku culture, this could be us. Yeah. And it was cool. They were all neat. Friends, having a good time. They eventually, it was all right. I think they collect all the issues, maybe except they get one. All of them.
Well, then when they're going to like get this one, it disappears. Yeah. Like it like materializes into nothingness.
I think, so yeah, they're like, we had to, like, they're all sitting there, all the girls are sitting there, like, we had to, like, preserve our memories. We had to, you know, we had to get this fucking last issue. And like, I'm not gonna let this fucking fade. And one of the girls has some major intention. She goes like, I will never fucking lose all my memories. And then like shit, like lightning goes up and this big old light happens. And then like 3 girls pop up out of fucking nowhere wearing the same uniform. Like,
hey, it's not from nowhere. It's from a grandfather clock.
Exactly. Okay? And they're just like, we fucking got it, bro. We got the last issue. And like, yay, we did it. And they're like, yep. And they're like, oh my God, this issue is being hit by a virus. It's like, we have to stop the viruses. All right, let's get ready to go into that world. So essentially what it is.
So you're just sitting there like, wait, what? What?
So you thought you were watching a slice of life about these girls who were just trying to, you know, keep together this cafe that, you know, praises otaku culture that is now dead, which I was just like, this is horrible. Like, if otaku culture is dead and you haven't had a customer all day, they were like, yeah, yesterday we had one customer was like, how are you still fucking open, you know,
with like 12 employees.
12 employees. Oh, like, why are there 12 of you guys? Like, she has like they at one point they put all the names on the board and like they all have like little designs and their names on them. Was like, are those your fucking employees? People show up, like, oh, cool, customers. Like, hey guys, we decided to come help out on our day off.
Like a group of 3.
You bitches work here? What the fuck? And then at the very end, you find out, like, oh no, in this weird world, there's some sort of viruses that infect other issues of anime, other issues of manga, and their job is to go inside those worlds and stop the viruses from destroying these pieces of literature or whatever. My fucking God, man. I thought the show was so dumb.
Took you on a journey
and
at the end there, right?
I was like, wow, it's not so dumb. It's fucking mega ultra dumb.
So essentially, if they gave me like maybe 5-8 minutes at the end of like whatever magical place that they go to. No, I could have been into this, but I have no incentive to keep watching it other than like, so wait, what the fuck?
Well, the title card's super weird or whatever. Like, it's like, you know, they're all wearing like really wacky outfits and like there's there's fucking gears and everything. I wonder
it looks whack as shit, right? And then it wound up being this little thing, and I'm like, okay, well, whatever. We'll kind of see where that ties in. But then it ties in such like a crazy way.
I'd also like to say, like, all the girls have the same maid outfit, the same uniform for their fucking work. And apparently, once you put this uniform, you all essentially get the same size tits. Like, they all just have the same size butts. Also, for some reason, one of the girls like, I had to change into my outfit, my work outfit. So she changed her outfit. There's a little edgy, you know, fan service here, fan service there. She's wearing a bikini. That's not a bra that she's wearing underneath. It's like a blue striped bikini. I was like, what is this? What the fuck am I watching? Honestly, for a second, I thought, someone must have cut in the wrong piece of anime right here, because this has no. Like, oh, this is
from another project.
Man, this show sucks.
Can I give a shout out to the sword of the main character that shows up for half a second though?
The keyblade of the main character.
Yeah, so she has this giant ass like Buster sword ass huge thing, but it has like gears and stuff in it, and I'm like, that's pretty cool.
It's very like Shulk meets fucking Cloud from fucking Final Fantasy. Like, it's massive.
Yeah,
it's just like way extra.
And
we don't get to see it. We get to see it like in the title when it pops up or whatever. One thing I also really didn't like about this is since I didn't know it was going to be this weird clockworky thing, it makes more sense at the very end. But I was like, you know what? It'd be cool if they showed real pieces of anime and real pieces of manga and real like actual existing properties, like intellectual properties. Because they'd be like, oh yeah, like, because then it could actually feel like, oh, they're looking for this specific show.
That would be pretty cool.
Like, oh, that would be fun. They're looking for all the issues of fucking Bunny Drop. Oh, good for them. And they've been said they're like looking for some really off-brand, made-up show, like manga that, like, I bet you might exist, kind of. Like, there's probably like an amalgamation
it's called, like,
of things.
Bunny Basket or some shit,
which is a combination of like fucking Usagi Drop meets like fucking
Fruit Basket.
Yeah, so, like, so that's why I really at first was like, I hate this show. Like, it's just gonna be a bunch of.
Well, then it turned out into a show where we're like, well, maybe if you didn't jerk me around the whole time.
I thought it was like, oh great, it's gonna be 9 episodes of them like like fucking being sad about shows and mangas that don't exist.
You know what was a huge bummer about this too? They just ran around the whole time. Nothing was happening. They just were like, "Oh, I'm just gonna run," and like nothing happened.
They did the same joke twice.
Let's fucking we gotta keep talking about it.
This is the best show this season.
So fucking
anyways,
weird.
it's a bad show. Next one,
man. You didn't watch this show, but boy, did I. It's called Was or W's. I don't.
It's W's with the Z.
So it's made by Go Hands. Do you guys remember Go Hands?
These hands.
If you don't, they made a little show called Handshakers. This is an original project, believe it or not. So I was blown away. This starts out, and it's about some DJ kid. He's like a secret DJ, and he throws these shows that are like one-man performances. So he goes to some place, a secret place, and he throws a secret show for one individual, which was like really weird. He's a crazy DJ. He always puts on a mask. All of his shows are on YouTube. So he like plays good music, and he like, you know, and he's just like up there spinning his discs, doing some extra cool DJ shit. Well, it turns out that Go Hands isn't ready to let go of their favorite IP.
Handshakers.
He's walking down the street,
singing doo da diddy diddy dum diddy doo.
It's a day like any other. Crowds pass him. A woman grazes his hand. Handshakers, they go into another world. Everything turns into fish. It gets into gross 3D. It's like we already didn't like the animation too much. It was just like, I don't know. Honestly, him DJing was kind of the best animation they had, but it looked kind of weird. And then fucking it goes into this like surrealist fucking, the camera's flying around in circles. Everything's in 3D suddenly.
There are a bunch of like weird filters on stuff.
Holy shit, it looked fucking nuts.
You know what's weird is that like for some reason Handshakers didn't even start off that way. Handshakers started off from the beginning just disgusting to look at, and then they started shaking hands like, oh cool, it's even worse.
Yeah.
So this show's like, hey guys, we'll hold off the handshaking for at least 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna shake hands.
Yeah. And I was like, whoa, what's happening? That's how he has his secret DJ shows. He takes people into this world and he throws on a little performance. He's like, check it out. Just you and me. Nobody else is here. There's a giant crowd around us, but don't worry. Nobody's here. Only we could hear it. And then, the other people show up and they're like, we're handshakers. We hold hands. We're going to kick your ass. And they all have like these crazy weapons and stuff. And he's like, I'm just a DJ. I play electronic music. People really like me. I can't do anything. And that's essentially the whole plot of the show. It fucking blew my mind. I'm watching this shit and I'm like, nobody told me. Nobody told me.
I got his text just like, dude, Handshakers has a sequel in disguise. I was like, what? I just texted you back, whiz. And I was like, yep, not watching that. No fucking way.
I wish you did, because it blew my goddamn mind as I'm watching it. And then suddenly, they're shaking.
They're shaking.
And they mentioned handshakers like a few times. Like, we're handshakers. And like, I don't know if they're a handshaker or not.
I got a hand you can shake or some shit like that.
God, it was magic. Anyways, don't watch it. It's fucking garbage. But holy shit, if you're in for like a weird ass time, that gets weird. We're on to our last show of the season, and it's another gem. It's called How Clumsy You Are, Miss Ueno. It's made by Lesbrit, and it's based off of a manga. Hey man, you remember junior high?
Yeah.
Do you remember like sexually assaulting your friends nonstop? That was awesome. Love junior high. Well, this is 12 minutes of sexual assault.
Is it only 12 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this show... So the thing is, okay, like
your eyes just get so big. You're like, that was only 12 minutes?
It felt like forever. Look, okay.
We have 2 skits.
So there's a show that we just announced that's gonna have a second season. We personally announced it. Breaking news. Fucking the fucking Takagi whatever, you know.
Yeah, like teasing cute boy.
Yeah, the little girl that teases the boy, whatever. And so I'm a fan of like middle school shows that have these kind of like, you know, these little romantic things. I think they're fun. So when coming into this, like, oh cool, this girl likes this other boy. This is interesting. I might like this. Who knows? It could be fun or whatever. The art style is pretty interesting. Like their designs,
it looks pretty original.
Their designs are pretty wacky. Like her hair is bombastic, right? And then like this other girl with white hair. It's just everything's looking really cool.
Yeah, it looks cool. It looks bold too. They have like bold outlines and stuff. It just looks really original.
It looks OG, OG. Like this is going to be something I've never seen before.
And it sure was. Let me fucking tell you.
And then the fucking main character shows up, looks like a potato, nothing too special.
He's like, I'm just a brown-haired boy.
And then the girl's just like, hey, drink my piss.
And he's like, I'm not really into drinking your urine, but okay.
And then she's like, I made this thing, because apparently they're like in the science or invention club or whatever. He's like, I made this thing that'll filtrate anything. Like, it can save the fucking world. I tested it by filtrating my piss. Here, drink my piss. It's perfect. It's pure. And he goes like, no, I don't want to drink your piss. And that proceeds to go on for several minutes.
Just 6. Okay,
to the point
we
where,
still had 6 more minutes
to the point where, the other girl that's also in the club will drink some of the piss.
Like, fine, I'll drink your urine. Yeah, it tastes like nothing.
Cool. And the kid's like, cool, I'm still not drinking your piss. She breaks down, and then we quickly see like a montage of like, oh, so this girl likes this boy, and she's just super incompetent because the only way she knows how to confess her feelings is sexually assaulting him. So she's like, it shows a flashback of her like showing up to school just covered in nothing but ribbons. I was like,
yeah, you remember junior high?
Yeah,
you remember dressing up with only ribbons?
And she's like having a mental breakdown. Like she's like, you're just a fucking idiot. You don't fucking get it. Why do you think I'd create this amazing piece of technology? All I want is for you to drink my fucking piss. And he's just like, no.
I remember the first time I got a girl to drink my pee.
Yeah.
7th grade.
Second bit comes through, and she's like, I created this new thing. It makes dark matter or whatever. she like boops a cat. It's like a cat you boop, and it makes dark matter. It's like he's like, cool. And the way we're gonna test it is, I'm gonna lift up my skirt, and the dark matter should be down there, so she shouldn't be able to see my panties. And he's like, okay, cool. If this is today's club activities, here we go. So she starts off like a 9, like no, like a 10%, different degrees of a thing, and she keeps egging him on, being like, you should be able to see my panties. Can you see them? He's like, no, you made a great invention. Congratulations. He's like, what if I wasn't wearing panties? Because I'm not wearing panties. You want to see this vagina? And he's just like, I'm just taking notes, bitch, And then she fucking melts. I was like, why don't you want to see my bald ass cooch? I'm like, fucking 9 or some shit like that. 12.
She's in 9th grade.
She's in 9th grade.
Yeah,
because my fucking god,
their middle school goes for 3 years.
They look like children. They legitimately look like children.
Well, hey man, freshmen of high school, they look like children.
Not the ones in fucking quintuplets, dog. I'll tell you that right now.
Okay, well they're
a little more developed.
Oh my god, yeah.
But anyways, this show. It's too much. I honestly didn't know it was that short. It's not. I wouldn't describe it as funny.
No, me either.
I would describe it as very odd.
It was weird.
It's.
You remember that show like Chio's Road to School or something like that?
Yeah, where she would go to school, and she would also come across very odd sexual things too, like
not necessarily sexual, but yeah,
a man spit on her at one point, and she can do a thing. At one point, she also like some dude sees her panties, so she kicks him in the fucking face. It gives me those vibes for sure.
Yeah. So
not stylistically, just like vibes wise,
people are gonna enjoy the show, and I understand why. But I think that I'm at the age now, the ripe age of 27, where, watching a 14-year-old trying to make another 14-year-old drink her pee, it's just not my style anymore.
I get it. At 27, I feel it. But, we are at that ripe age where we were totally down to see a boy who had sex with some chick, ends up being her stepsister, and happens to want to have sex with her other stepsister who happens to be your teacher. I feel like we're at that right age,
Thank you so much for listening to the Instant Ramen Podcast.
Domestic Girlfriend Show of the Year. Over fucking
Bunny.
No. Is that the same year?
No.
Okay, it's this show is so far over Shield Warrior, so far over
Promise
Neverland. Thank you. And over your favorite show, My Neighbor the Cat.
I thought you were going to say Mob Psycho. Mob Psycho doesn't make it on the top?
Mob Psycho was up there, forgot.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, girl.
No, anyways, let's quickly talk about what we're going to watch this season.
Oh, my gosh. Quickly, huh? All right, so Promised Neverland for sure. The Rising of the Shield Hero, absolutely. Mob Psycho Season 2, without a doubt, no doubt. I'm going to keep watching Endro. I really liked that show. It was super cool, super fun. I'm going to check out Dororo some more, check out that whatnot. I want to see what happens with Magical Girl Spec Ops Asuka, but I might stop watching it. I feel the exact same way about Boogiepop and others, so we'll see what happens with those. And dude, the Domestic Girlfriend show, I'm going to see what else happens, but man, I don't
want to watch it.
It's like it's not even a guilty pleasure. It's like just guilt. There's a lot of pleasure, but it's like it's real guilt.
I for sure want to watch the Shield Warrior show, Mob Psycho, obviously The Promised Neverland. Those shows are like obviously the top tier of this season.
Yeah,
so
I
far.
think so.
So far, I don't want to jinx it because fucking Shield Warrior could take a crap and just end up being bad. But
absolutely.
Those other two shows, I have total faith in.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then I feel the same way about the Spec Ops show. Like I want to see it because the violence is pretty cool, but I don't know how far that's going to take me. So that could drop off pretty soon. Endro, I don't think I'll watch. I think the style is really pretty, and I think I don't think it's going to go
up to date, man.
If it becomes something great, let me know. The quintessential quintuplets, I jokingly say I'm going to watch that. I might actually end up watching it just because it's a good old man. Because 12-year-old Juan would be really upset if I didn't.
Oh, man. 12-year-old Chris would be like, yo, man.
What
you seen this Tetris game where the girls get naked?
What?
All right. So anything else?
I'm obviously watching that weird masky show or fucking doll boy.
Dororo.
I think that show looks dumb for the first 5 minutes and then
fucking amazing the rest of it.
I think what happened is like someone was animating it and like, what the fuck are you doing? And they pushed him out of the way and they fired him and they said, just keep it and we'll make the rest of it good.
Like, listen, man, we don't have enough time.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of things that we don't have enough time for, we didn't talk about the anime that we were watching this week, but I picked up Shirobako again.
Oh, animes I watched this week. I finished the first season of Prison Break and I started the second one.
Okay.
Oh, and the Chargers also lost in the division game against the Patriots, which was really sad. I cried all Sunday. That's the anime I watched this week. I didn't watch any anime.
Yeah, I could tell. Just by the way that you are.
And then the last show I am without a doubt watching, no matter what anybody tells me, is Domestic Girlfriend. Because, dear God,
updates to come next week.
Wow, it's going to be great. Anyways, are we doing Crunchyroll thing next week, or is that not yet?
Crunchyroll thing.
Like the awards.
You know what? They haven't announced the winners yet. I don't know if you guys have voted on the Crunchyroll awards yet, but I would strongly encourage you to do that. So we're going to have some calmer episodes. We have a couple of things that we've been kind of saving that we could do at any point. So next week it's going to be a surprise, but it's going to be a welcomed one. It'll be a lot shorter than this episode. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, awesome. And yeah, like we said, go vote for the Crunchyroll awards. When those results do come out, we're going to talk about them because we obviously don't agree with what they always agree with what they put up. But there's
so we're going to do the same categories that they have, but our own choices because they don't necessarily have everything that we would have put in there.
And we also had a few other things that they don't have on the list. So.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, that's the show. I'm sorry, I got something in my throat.
It's okay. Juan and I both getting over sicknesses. I was sick last week. He was sick this week. It's all good.
Okay.
We're just being gross boys.
Anyways, that's the show. If you like our logo, hit up Aaron from TurbyTops.com.
Yes.
If you like our theme song, check out Tom Nasser on SoundCloud or YouTube.
Yes.
Trip, where can people find us?
You can find us on Facebook. Look up the Instant Ramen Podcast. Same thing goes for Instagram. Look up the Instant Ramen Podcast. Hey, I think we're doing a giveaway, so that's pretty neat. And then we'll announce that winner next week. If you want to tweet at us, tweet at Instant Ramen Pod.
Podcast Benefit.
And go ahead and send us an email, instantRamenPodcast@gmail.com. Remember, you guys, I love you.
This is bye from Juan.
I'll see you around from Chris.
Hey, Trip, don't forget.
Just add hot water.